Good morning, good morning. It's the Last Minute Laura Show. Good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Sorry, I'm still bobby pinning my hair. Good morning, everyone. This is what you're getting. Hello, good morning. Nice to see you this morning. Let's check that we've got our volume, we got our mic, we got everything we need. Come on in. If you're new here, hi, I'm Laura. This is Last Minute Laura Morning Show. We get together a couple times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday for this week. And we hang out, we chat about what's going on, we work on crafty things, and I show you all the stuff that's going on. And today, what we've got going on is actually quite exciting. First of all, what did you guys think of the countdown? I made a little countdown video so that while I'm getting ready, and while everyone's coming into the stream, we can have something kind of playing as opposed to you just waiting on the wait screen. You can have a little video playing. So it's Thunder in the Garden. Huh? Did you do a good job being extra cute? The answer is yes. Good morning, though, everyone. Nice to see you. Hi, Candace. Hi, AJ. Hi, Frida. Hi, V. Hi, Yarn Goblin. Hi, Slinky. And hi, Nana. Nice to see you all. And AJ. Hi, AJ. And Aditi. Good morning. Nice to see you as well. He did. Isn't he adorable? The cutest. He did a very good job. So this morning, I made an iced coffee, and then I put it into the freezer with ice cubes in it, thinking, oh, it'll just be in there for like 40 minutes before the stream, half an hour maybe. It froze pretty considerably, and I had to break the ice, and I spilled coffee all over myself in the process of like breaking through the ice to get to my coffee. Not the best. Also, I made cookies. Look at my homemade cookies. Also, do you see all of this stuff here? I'm going to show you all of the things that my mom grew that I took home yesterday. We went over to my mom and dad's house just to say hi, and I left with a full bushel of vegetables, a full crate of vegetables. I made cookies. I didn't make cookies. I bought the Pillsbury Doughboy rolled up cookies in a plastic tube that you cut, roll into a ball, and then cook. But I baked them. I turned the oven on. Also, I'm kind of a grown-up. Just saying. This morning I had breakfast and a whole cup of water before even coming on here. I had breakfast, a tomato sandwich with Swiss cheese, salt and black pepper on the tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes from my mom, of course. Salt and pepper and mayonnaise, and then I added a slice of Swiss cheese because I was like, I'll even have some calcium with my breakfast, and then I had a banana after that. So there's like no way I'm gonna be hungry until lunchtime. There will be no growling tummies in this stream at all. Thank you very much. Good morning, Irma. Nice to see you this morning. Welcome. Yarn Goblin, Jamie says, I finished a little baby jacket and it's giving me serious Hobbit vibes. A baby jacket, a baby Hobbit? That's awesome. I would love to see it, by the way. Hi, Alex. Good morning. Hi, everyone. Good morning, Laura. Hello, Alex. Good morning, Alex. So, first of all, in case you weren't here on Monday, I went thrift shopping on the weekend, and this is now something that is mine. This belongs to me. This very cute tiny little chicken. Honestly, you know what it made me think when I looked at it later? I could probably make this. Like, probably. It might take me a while to figure it out, but that doesn't seem too complicated. Maybe we should try and remake it. Pick in Discord. All right, let me check Discord. Where did you post it in? Live stream discussions? Why, yes. Oh, what a cute baby sweater. Oh, that's very sweet. Oh, I love that stitch. Is that the moss stitch? Single crochet, chain one, single crochet. That's what it looks like to me. How do you go around the corners for that? Very cute though. Love the color, love the texture. Looks beautiful. Hey Mary Grace, good morning. By the way, if you're wondering what Discord is, it's like a private chat room for anyone in this stream. If you'd like to join the Discord, the link to my Patreon is in the description below. If you join Patreon, you get access to the Discord. So something to consider if you want to show off the stuff that you are making. Hey Becca, good morning. So let's jump in with the stuff that I got from my mom and dad's farm yesterday. Starting with the, well, trying to start with the jalapenos. Ugh. So my mom's growing a few different kinds of jalapenos this year. If you leave a jalapeno on the plant when it's a green jalapeno, it'll turn into a red jalapeno. So I got a huge bowl full of jalapenos just because they were so fun to pick. That's the truth. Honestly, picking a jalapeno, it's this crisp crunch sound when you pick it off the plant. And immersion, look at them. Aren't they beautiful? Like, this is the darkest jalapeno. They're like a black variety of jalapeno. Here, let me grab one of the green varieties just so you can see it next to the black variety. And then eventually they turn red. Let me show you. See? Isn't that pretty? These black ones are they're dark green. They're not black, but they're so much darker than the green ones that they appear black when you have like a bowl full of them. Like, look, from far away, that just looks like a black pepper. Obviously, up close, you can see it's just a really dark green, but it's really pretty. So I am going to be doing something with these. I may actually dehydrate some of them just to have like pepper powder or whatever. My jalapeno plants have done nothing for me. Yeah, I got like 3 jalapenos at the beginning of the season, and since then, I think they got shaded out, honestly, Becca. I think mine didn't get enough sunlight because they need like a ton of heat and sunlight. And since it's been so dang hot here, excuse me, you would think that the jalapenos would be totally happy, but I think mine didn't get quite enough sun. And I saw something. Oh, Becca, guys, I stepped on an anthill yesterday and my foot is covered in bites. You barefoot stepped on an anthill? Ouch. They look really tasty, don't they, though? Oh my god, I could eat them all. Well, what should I do with them? That's something I wanted to see if you guys had any recipes for some of the stuff that I've got here. 3 hours of sleep. I have the female... What does that mean? Irma, yes, beautiful, aren't they, though? And Elizabeth, hi, Elizabeth. Good morning from... Oh, geez, it wasn't a cold after all. Well, I hope you're feeling okay. But ugh, that sucks. I'm sorry that you got sick. Cowboy candy. When I was there was actually somebody else picking the jalapenos for cowboy candy. Somebody was picking them and was saying, oh, the red ones are the best. And I was like, the red ones are just slightly more ripe, that's all. The green ones taste great to me too. And he said, oh, but the red ones are spicier, which is good for cowboy candy. And I said, okay. And then I walked away because I was off to get eggplants. But someone was actually shopping for jalapenos at the farm while I was picking mine. So I've heard of cowboy candy. From what I understand, it's just candied jalapenos. Do you include the seed when you do the candied jalapeno, or do you pull the seeds out? Because you're straight up just eating a cooked hot pepper then, no? Like with sugar on it, but I mean, Hey there, Melanie. Good morning, new subscriber. Welcome. I'm glad that you subscribed. Thanks for subscribing. And don't forget to like the video, guys. Everybody, on your way in, don't forget to click the like button. It helps the channel, and I would appreciate it, so do it. I think you leave the seeds, Mary Grace said. Okay. TMI problem. Itchy. Couldn't sleep. Don't even know what it's called in English. Okay, yeah. Yeast in English, but Candida is the variety. You can leave the seeds if you like heat. Take out most, but leave some. Okay, so I'll take out all, probably, because I am a wimp if it comes to straight eating hot peppers. I add them as flavoring. Baby's kicking okay so far, and my symptoms haven't been terrible so far. Well, yes, keep an eye on that then. I forgot about the baby, and yes, geez, I hope your symptoms don't get any worse. That's what I hope. Also, I went for eggplant, not as many as last time that I went grocery shopping at the farm, because I'm realizing I have to process all this food. So yes, these eggplant are beautiful, and there were hundreds, but I am not going to be able to process hundreds of eggplants. So I just grabbed a few of them, of the different varieties, and I'm going to do I'll probably do stuffed eggplant with the large ones, and then I'll just chop up the little ones and add it to some other dinner. I'm with you there with removing seeds, Melanie said. Love the taste of jalapenos, yet the seeds can be intense. Yes, I like the heat of jalapenos, but I don't necessarily want to bite into a hot pepper, you know? Another thing that was really exciting, my mom actually picked these while I was there, and I helped dig up the potatoes. We dug up some potatoes from the potato rows. I don't know, they're not like a specific potato garden, it's just like several of the rows in the garden are potatoes. But next to them, my mom pulled up these 3 onions. She has, like, again, there's hundreds of these things, but I just took home 3 because I don't need a million onions. But look how big these onions are. She just yanked them out of the ground in front of me. Aren't they amazing? Like, look at that. Isn't that a beautiful onion? I think these are Walla Walla onions, but I don't know. I'm not the one who grew them. I just picked them with my mom. And then we dug out potatoes, and look at how amazing these potatoes look. We dug out about a whole bushel while I was there, so I just took some of them. A bushel is about all the food that you see here, plus probably 1/2 again. That's how much a bushel is, or at least that's how much my parents sell as a bushel. But potatoes, beautiful potatoes. Aren't they nice? And they're so perfect because it's like the 4th year they've been growing in that plot of garden. And so this potatoes had no rocks up against them. There was no pests. They're just perfect. And their skin is like tissue paper. They're so fresh. So I'm going to be cooking these up probably today and tomorrow, just because they're lovely. The skin looks very nice, doesn't it? They're completely undamaged by anything. Pests, rocks, weather, sunlight. They were just very, like, I just need you to understand how pretty they are. Look at these beautiful potatoes. We still need to pull our potatoes. It's either been 1 billion degrees or pouring rain. Well, yesterday it wasn't 1 billion degrees or pouring rain, which is why I was able to do some with my mom. Obviously, my mom and dad do the majority of all of their farming. I just go there for fun and pull up things that I want to eat. So for me, it's not like work. For my mom and dad, obviously, it's like work. But for me, it's like a fun, entertaining, fun time. I also got sweet peppers. I went a little overboard just because they were a lot of fun to pick. As you can see, went a little overboard. These are all sweet peppers. These are banana peppers that obviously weren't banana peppers. I have my own skeptical feeling about these ones. I know they were with the banana peppers. Also, some of the banana peppers turned orange. But some of the banana peppers turned red, and I am now feeling unsure about the red ones. Even though my mom confirmed, no, those are sweet, and I separated my baskets according to sweet and spicy. But, like, these things to me look spicy. So, like, I don't know why they would build sweet peppers to look like this. Can you not just make sweet peppers broad and spicy peppers skinny so that we can keep an eye on them? Why are you making spicy peppers broad and sweet pepper skinny? You're confusing the whole system we have. Also, look at this amazing pepper. So green peppers, when you buy them, are actually just regular peppers, any other color that haven't gone all the way ripe. So you can see this one's ripening. It's not going to ripen anymore. I'm going to eat it, but it's an orange pepper. But it was a green pepper a little while ago. Same thing with this. This is a red shepherd pepper, but I picked it at mid ripeness. Again, it'll still taste nice. Are you talking to Mother Nature? What are you talking about? Oh, I would like to. If you have a talk with Mother Nature, let her know. I'd prefer if broad peppers were sweet and pointy peppers were spicy. It's like spiders. Broad spiders, not scary. Pointy spiders, scary. Same with snakes. Broad faces, not scary. Pointy faces, scary. Bumblebees, broad, friendly, pointy, scary. It needs to stay broad, friendly, pointy, scary so that I don't hurt myself. Some sweet peppers are a snack variety, looking more about the size of a jalapeno. Yeah, and that would be like these guys. Jalapeno-sized snack peppers. But the banana peppers were all yellow, and now some of them are turning red and some are turning orange, and it's like, can you make up your mind? Lol, differentiate, please. I would appreciate it, and not people making these sweet, hot mixtures. I think this is a hot pepper. I know it's not with my jalapenos, but I think this one is a poblano? Poblano or serrano? My mom, the long green ones are... These long green ones are spicy, but they're not painfully spicy. They're about jalapeno heat level. Taste test. Honestly, I will, because it's supposed to be sweet, so I shouldn't be in danger if I'm eating this, in theory. Nice hoodie, AJ. It's sweet. It's a banana pepper. Ooh, poblanos are good in huevos rancheros. I have been really enjoying stuffing them with rice and other peppers chopped up. Isn't this pretty though? Red shepherd peppers. Also, my mom and dad have had such good luck this year with obviously hard work, but really good luck when it comes to pests pressure on their peppers. Last year, I remember there were holes in some of them. Like, look, there's a hole in this one hole, and that's somebody's inside of this one. So I'm gonna put this aside or I will ruin my own day later. Taking a bite out of it and finding a friend indoors. Not my cup of tea. But anyway, last year there was more pest pressure from what I remember on a bunch of the different plants. And this year it's like so many of the vegetables are completely untouched. And my parents are organic farmers. They don't use anything on their like vegetable gardens at all. On their apples and pears and grapes, they use dormant oil spray in the winter, which prevents some kind of moth from laying their eggs in the blossoms, which prevents the fruit from being ugly. But it's not poison, it's just like an oil that's naturally based. It's considered organic anyway. Sweet pepper. And no seeds yet. I haven't hit where the seeds start. There we go. Now we're at the seeds. You want a piece? Thunder, you want a treat? He doesn't have any teeth to chew it up. He'll just swallow it. Okay. Hot peppers and sweet peppers, not only sweet peppers. Oh, one more. So, I'll probably do I might do freezing for some of them. I don't think I'm going to can any of these because I don't have a ton of jars and they're not on my priority list for what I'm going to jar this year. I think I do want to do some jalapenos preserved. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I think I would like to have hot peppers available in the wintertime for use. I also could just freeze them though, like maybe I'll blanch them and then freeze them. I don't know. What do you think I should do with the jalapenos? This is probably like 2 plants worth of jalapenos, and my parents have several hundred. There's lots and lots of... I can get lots more jalapenos if I need them, so if there's a good way to preserve them, I would like to. Because by the end of the summer, when people have already picked everything they want, all the remaining jalapenos and all the other hot peppers, the habanero, poblano, Scotch bonnet, Thai chili, all of the hot peppers, they end up turning red because they don't all get picked. So there's a whole bunch of beautiful red hot peppers by the end of summer normally. and I'd like to find a way to use them. And sweet peppers, I think I'll probably just eat them as is. Like, I'll stuff them this week. This will be, like, all eaten this week. Which I know is a lot, and in the winter, this would take us weeks to get through. Like, if I purchased this, it would be quite a lot of money, because here it's, like, $3 for 3 peppers. Like, when you get a sleeve of 3 peppers, it's, like, $3. So this is probably, like, $15 worth of peppers. Maybe not that much, but still quite a few peppers in here, and that would be way more than I would eat in the winter because I would have purchased them. But since they are picked and from my mom, obviously they're not free. They're free to me, but she obviously worked many hours and put lots of money and time into growing them. But anyway, my point is, with them available, I eat more of them. Are you supposed to blanch peppers before freezing? I usually just chop, throw in a bag, label, and put in the freezer. Would not be surprised if I've been doing it wrong. Elizabeth, I don't know. This is not the first time. This is the first time I'll be doing it, so I don't know. My guinea pigs have been enjoying sweet banana peppers this week. Aw. And Frida says, Millicent tried to eat a bee. Apparently she decided it was not edible, and I found a very disheveled bee. A very disheveled bee. She was not stung and the bee lived. Oh, well, that's nice for both of them. Well, that's a good thing. Okay, and last big thing from our farm trip. Let me put these peppers back here so I don't knock them down. A big plate o' maters. A nice plate of tomatoes. All different varieties. I only took one black one just to show it to you because I don't really like that one. Like, flavor-wise, I'm not a fan of these. They just don't taste good to me. But they are really pretty. This one still needs to finish ripening, but pretty on top. You don't have to blanch before freezing? Good, then I won't. This one also needs to finish ripening, but I loved the shape of it, so I picked it. Isn't it cute? Look at his little booty. I love them. That color is beautiful. Isn't it, though? I know. It is a beautiful color. It's just the flavor is not my favorite. So the Hungarian heart tomatoes are like heart-shaped. Like, they're not, but you know what I mean. Like, here, look. If I cover that, see? It's like kind of heart-shaped, right? Anyway, these ones are really nice. I ate that on a tomato sandwich today, which is yummy. And then there's these guys. I don't remember what this might be the Sicilian saucer, but they are pretty. I don't know, I like the rumply bumpeliness of it. The only thing that sucks about these rumply ones is they end up getting split, which means you just have to eat them more quickly. Is that an ox heart tomato? No, this is a Hungarian heart tomato. The ox blood is a larger tomato. Still heart-shaped, so the heart shape is correct, but it's a larger tomato and a darker red. The Hungarian heart is a little, like, Roma tomato-sized tomato. And they've got the pointy bottom on them, as opposed to, like, just a regular small beefsteak. See the shape difference? There's, like, a few different tomato shapes available. But I really like the Hungarian heart, and my mom planted quite a lot of them. But you can see there's, like, round, flat, heart-shaped. I think maybe it's heart-shaped like anatomical heart, not like a heart. But anyway, I got a whole bunch of tomatoes. So I picked a bunch of cherry tomatoes. I think those ones, if I can fit them into a large jar, I might do my olive oil preservation with my tomatoes, which is just roasting the cherry tomatoes with salt, pepper, and some herbs, and then putting them in a jar, and then pouring olive oil over top. One last thing I got for myself and for my neighbors, I got purlane. So this is a wild growing weed here, but in Middle Eastern cultures, it's like a lettuce green that is used in salads, like they just use the leaves. And it's not bitter at all. Very much like a sweet lettuce. It's not like a spinach or like a bitter kale or anything. It's more like a sweet lettuce. So I got that too. I'll just be stir frying that into stuff. I know it's a sweet lettuce, but to me it looks like a vegetable, so I treat it like one. But I gave some to my neighbors upstairs. They're from Syria and they really like it. and make a really tasty salad from it, which I get to enjoy because they usually send some down for us. BF and I had a sleepover. Ooh, that's nice. Watched a movie. Then between 12 and 1 was watching us sleep. Between 12 to 1, the movie was watching us sleep. Oh, I understand. I was like, what? That sounds sinister. The movie was watching you sleep. That's a cute way to put it. Ugh. Sorry, there's some dirt on my desk from one of these items. I also dehydrated some basil yesterday. I've been filming videos, and when I'm doing video filming days, the kitchen is like occupied, so I decided I would harvest herbs and dehydrate them. So I have some basil here that was on the dehydrator, or in the dehydrator, and now it's dry, so I'm just gonna pack it into my basil jar. Sweet basil. This is just for my sweet Italian basil. I have Thai basil and lemon basil, and those ones are going to be separated because they have a very distinct flavor. But the sweet basil is the one that we use for like pesto and pastas and stuff. And it smells so good. The whole house yesterday, I did oregano in the morning and then basil in the afternoon, so it was just like pizza and pasta. Just the vibes were all over the place, but also delicious smelling. I should have thrown a couple of cloves of garlic to dehydrate at the same time, just so that we could have the smell, because it smells so good. And it smells so good. I know that the bottom of this is all crushed up. That was just because I needed to crush something up with my hand, so I did. But I like to not crush up my herbs when I dehydrate them because it makes me feel like they last longer. They don't. They last over winter until I can grow them for the next year. But in my head, it keeps them flavorful longer. Like if I leave it whole, then when I cook the dinner in winter, I can crush it into the dinner and then it's fresher. I don't know if that's true, but it feels true. But this gets crushed because sometimes I just need to squish something with my hands until it's crushed, and that's what happened here. But now I've got almost probably a quarter of a jar now. I know it looks like a lot more, but once it's crushed, it's much smaller. And I'm just gonna keep harvesting basil as long as it will continue to provide plant for me to harvest. I don't know why this morning I am particularly gnome shaped. I feel like this shirt is climbing up and making me very much shaped like a gnome in a way that I'm not aiming for today. I wasn't aiming for this level of nomenclature. Just picked up and started knitting the sleeves of the sweater. That's awesome. Attic storage. Ooh, did you see all the other stuff? Attic storage before you showed up? Or before you said ooh, did you see all these other veggies I've got here? Because I am going to be doing a lot of cooking over the next couple of days. But first, cookie. Also, just got here. Well, I went to my mom and dad's farm yesterday and picked a smorgasbord of veggies. Also, my triangle shawl is coming along. We're getting somewhere. Isn't that pretty? Crap, now I want cookies. Elizabeth, that's what I felt like. I was sitting over the stove, staring at my dye pot and being like, I just want to eat something delicious. And I was like, the kitchen's already hot. Let's turn the oven on. Also, the yarn dye video for next week is going to be amazing. The avocado skins and pits created a color I was not anticipating. Brighter than I've ever seen and more saturated than I've ever seen, and a color I've never created. All the things. I'm not even going to tell you. It's a color I've never created, so I'm pretty excited to have been able to do it from something natural, because we were just talking about this like last week, like what colors I would like to be able to do, and I did one of them. So it's gonna be good. Today is rinse day. So after the stream, I'm gonna be rinsing out the finished yarn and then hanging it up to dry. Also, if you have not taken your meds yet today, use this moment while I eat my cookie to go get your meds, get a cup of water, and take your meds. And if you didn't like the video yet, like the video. Also, please. Literally just took my meds. I took them right before the stream started. And I'm glad you took yours. It's important. I'm sitting here surrounded by vegetables eating a cookie. If that isn't like a summary of my diet, it's either full organic, local, crunchy vegan, or McDonald's. That's like my personality. I'm almost done my cookie. If you are disgusted by my chewing sounds, I apologize. But I'm almost done. I don't have a cookie, but I have some leftover Greek food, which tastes great. So, honestly, on par. I think I would trade this cookie for Greek food. Greek food's amazing, especially if there's tzatziki sauce all over it. Last bite. None for you, Thunder. I was gonna put my hair into space buns, but I ran out of time. So greasy single bun is all you get today. I changed the cord on my triangle shawl so that I have a longer cord now. Isn't that fun? Marigolds, such a vibe. I gotta get ready for a med appointment. Okay, Mary Grace, well, oh, right, I used this to clean the table. Don't judge me, there's a clean corner. My nose just started running. Oh, excuse me. Deanne, good morning. Your produce looks amazing. Thank you. I worked really hard on it. I actually didn't work very hard at all. I had a good time, though. My mom worked very hard on it. I don't know why, but I didn't realize that my mom had to water her gardens. I just assumed that the rain did it because the gardens are obscene now. Like, the number of garden spaces is just insane. There's so much space that is planted at the farm. But they have to water it. I mean, I know that I have to water my garden. I just assumed there's so much garden space that there's no way they're watering all of it. They are, in fact, watering all of it. Just popping in to let you know I mailed a package for you yesterday. Ooh, Deanne, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. Thanks. Ooh, I'm looking forward to it. What could it be? When will it get here? Why? Thank you. That's very sweet of you. Happy mail. Happy mail. I really like to get happy mail. Also, good morning. Having some old lady cereal for breakfast. Are you having grape nuts? Because that's, yeah. Or all bran. Or bran flakes. Or, those are the only things that I could think of that I would consider like old lady cereal. I still like all of those cereals. Like, don't get me wrong. They're yummy cereals. Those are the only ones I had in mind when you say that. And rice checks. Oh, rice checks are not old lady cereal. Rice checks are the rough ingredients for puppy chow, which is a delicious dessert made with Chex and, hold on, yeah, and peanut butter and chocolate and icing sugar. And some other people put other stuff in there too, but I feel like those ingredients are mostly what you need. Oh, golly gosh. So, today is going to be another filming day, hence why I have makeup on, because I have to have makeup on if I'm filming. So I'm going to do another filming day today. Yesterday was kind of a wash because we spent the evening at my parents' house, but I worked for the daytime. I also cut apart my dress from the thrift store and my brown dress that both have long skirts. And I got rough work done on my costume yesterday for the Renaissance Fair, which was very exciting for me. And the skirt looks perfect with the top cut off of it. And I also cut the embroidery patches off of one of the dresses, and it's a perfect size for a pocket. So I think I'm going to use those embroidery patches as pockets. My grandmother and grandpa always had it at their house. Delicious, though. What's Kix? I can't think of what that is. Ugh. I believe all bran is cardboard. I believe all bran is in the name what it is. Frida. It's all bran. But all bran is good. So are grape nuts. Honestly, like, yum. They're like crunchy. Yeah, the flavor's like boring, but it's a good crunch. So I feel like with the crunch gives it all. Gives all the points back. I don't know why the tip of my nose is so itchy right here. And the only way I can itch it is by rubbing back and forth. So I'm not, just leave me alone. I'm trying to think of what old lady cereal is to me. Probably cream of wheat, but I also love cream of wheat. I literally have it in my pantry right now. So it only is old lady cereal because you have a memory of someone who was an old lady. Which is fair, because cream of wheat was always at my grandparents' house. But again, delicious. Love that cereal. What's your favorite cereal? I wonder what mine is. I feel like I do love Corn Pops, and I love Reese's Puffs, and I love like chocolate puffs, chocolate, what are they called? Nesquik Puffs? Pops? You know what I mean, the chocolate ball version. Bless you. Bless you, Corn Pops. The chocolate version, whatever those are called. I don't know why I can't think of the name. Ooh, honeycomb cereal is good. Honey Nut Cheerios. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, love that. Cocoa Puffs, thank you. I don't know why my brain couldn't come up with words. Bless you from the Swedes. You're welcome. He says thanks. And my face is on cereal or Honey-O's. My face is on cereal or Honey-O's. What? Your face is on? Nesquik here in Canada. Yeah, Nesquik Cocoa Puffs. Cocoa Puffs are delicious. Either Kix or Apple Jacks. Ooh, Apple Jacks. I do love a bowl of Apple Jacks. Fruity Pebbles I was never a fan of. It's like Trix and Fruity Pebbles here. Not my thing. My grandpa used to have regular Cheerios and then put real honey on top of it. My face is on cereal or Honey-O's. Keyboard autocorrect. My fave. Oh, my fave is peanut butter. Hold on. My fave is peanut butter cereal or Honey-O's. Got it. I like Honey Nut Cheerios for sure. I also love the apple cinnamon Cheerios. Every flavor of Cheerios that comes out I have loved, except the blueberry. Alex really liked the blueberry Cheerios, but I did not. I also like French Toast Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Honestly, a bowl of Rice Krispies once in a while with a little sugar sprinkled on top. Don't get it twisted. That's pretty tasty. Chocolate frosted mini wheats are my jam. Oh, just regular mini wheats. Regular frosted mini wheats. Cinnamon frosted mini wheats. Again, with Alex and the blueberry frosted mini wheats. I do love the cinnamon frosted mini wheats. Totally. I don't know about the chocolate frosted mini wheats. I don't know about that. You can have them. I'll just keep the cinnamon and regular flavor. Oh, totally mini wheats. And cream of wheat and shredded wheat. Wheat and milk. I love frosted Cheerios, but I can't have it often because of diabetes. Fair. Yeah. Can you have regular Cheerios with no frosting on them? I had to read the word again because I forgot the word frosted. Thank you so much for teaching me Continental, you guys. Frida and Sid specifically, I think, right? But thank you so much for teaching me Continental knitting over the stream because, whoa, it's so much faster, and my little wrists, they don't They don't want to do the other way ever again. How much work, how slow it is to knit that way as opposed to continental. It's just so much faster and less likely for me to drop a stitch. It's like so much better. Yeah, I eat regular Cheerios, but it's not as much as Frosted. Fair enough. You're very welcome. Thank you. Sweden has lots of healthy muesli cereal kinds. Yeah, here we have like a grocery store aisle of like the organic and gluten-free and vegan stuff. And in that aisle, there's usually like a whole lot of different mueslis and granolas and crunchy things. I gotta call my primary care. I don't know if my digestive issues are anxiety or food related. That sucks, Mary Grace. I'm sorry. But yeah, definitely call, because if it's anxiety related, calling will help. And if it's digestive related, calling will do nothing. So there's a good way to check, because after you call, there will be at least a moment of... So keep track of your digestive issues today after you call. See if they settle at all, because it could be anxiety related. And since you know you'll have a doctor's appointment, you'll be more likely to feel like, okay. How about both? Yeah, Frida, totally. Anxiety is exasperating a digestive issue. That's more likely, because everything is on fire and everything's broken, so it can't just be one thing ever again. Anything that's wrong with anything has more than one cause. That's just for sure. That's why I have a med appointment today. I'm glad you have an appointment, because that's important if you're not feeling well. For me, it's just whatever I'm in the mood for, too. That's fair, Attic. Honestly, I eat cereal so infrequently now. Our cereal boxes are like $7 for a box of cereal now. They used to be like $2 like a year ago. And then they went up to $3, and then they went up to 3 for $9 or $4 each. So that's $3 if you buy 3, but $4 if you buy 1. Then they went up to $5 each or 4 for $12, and they just kept going up like that, and now it's like $7, $6.99, $7.50, depending on the box of cereal you're getting. It just doesn't make sense, because Alex and I don't need to be eating cereal. Like, overall, it's not like something, like, it's not one of Alex's comfort foods. Oatmeal is one of Alex's comfort foods, so like, or safe foods, whatever you want to call it, autistic things. But luckily cereal is not on that list. It doesn't matter. It's like a fun treat. So we would buy cereal when it went on sale for $1.99. We'd buy a few boxes, and then for the next couple of weeks, we'd enjoy eating cereal. I don't think we've purchased cereal in, 6 months. Just because we don't have there's no reason for me to be spending $7 on cereal. I don't have a kid who needs to eat cereal every day, you know what I mean? And the way Alex eats cereal is like a bowl like this filled with cereal, which gives you 2 to 3 bowls out of a box of cereal. So for it to be $3 to $4 per breakfast, if you think of it like that way, for me, I can't justify it. But oatmeal has also gone crazy here too. Like Alex's oatmeal, again, it used to be $1.69 2 years ago, and then a year ago it went up to $2, and they would do 4 for $8 was the deal. So it was like $2.20 or 4 for $8. So we would buy 4 for $8 when they would go on sale. And now they're $5 each box, or $4.49 on sale per box. So it's $16 for the same amount of food, for $8 worth of food, literally double. So it's just not justifiable. Is that instant oatmeal? Yeah, like the packets. Alex likes those. We do have 3 full bags of just plain rolled oats oatmeal that you have to scoop out your own half a cup scoop. But Alex really likes prepackaged oatmeal. He likes knowing exactly how much and everything like that. He likes that. So it's like one of his staples. Thank God we bought so much of it quite some time ago, because we're still working through that. Like, I don't know that I've purchased oatmeal in quite some time. It's kind of crazy though. I can't even imagine. Like, I grew up with 3 other siblings. Like, there were 4 of us, and there was always cereal and oatmeal stocked in the pantry. Like, stocked. Like, we had a whole shelf just dedicated to cereal in my childhood pantry, and that means there were 10, 12 boxes at one time of cereal. Maybe not all of them were open, but like there was a lot of cereal, and we went through it like quickly. Like if 4 kids each have a bowl of cereal, a box of cereal is only going to last 2 days, you know what I mean? So thinking of that now, I can't even imagine how a family with 4 kids can afford to buy cereal at $7 a box. Like that would, your grocery bill would be going up huge amounts. I've got to say, I'm pretty glad that Alex's like staple foods are super easy for me, because I know that a lot of people's staple foods are like non-negotiable, you know? Let's see. Oatmeal is so easy to make. Sweden hasn't caught on to the instant kind. I think that, yes, oatmeal is so easy to make, but the instant oatmeal has exactly the same amount of fruit, dried fruit pieces, exactly the same amount of sugar, exactly the same amount of oats. It's just like a nice organized way to eat oatmeal. I know that it's not it's not the best way, and we do have big bags of oatmeal that are, you just measure it yourself and add a little honey, like it's gonna be fine. But yeah, the instant oatmeal, it's just a convenience food. Wow, Attic, I know. Can you imagine? $7? Like, nobody likes corn pops enough to pay $7 for them. And yet, people do. Yeah, I get it. Fair. Yeah, I've learned all my digestive problems are exacerbated by fiber. So no cereal, or muesli, or raw broccoli. Huh. That sucks, because fiber's usually like, eat more fiber. Fiber, fiber, fiber. White bread. My stomach can handle white bread. I do love white bread. Like a toasted slice of white bread with butter. I mean, healthy? No. Delicious? Yes. I think the heat wave is starting back up today. We were supposed to have rain all week, and then yesterday the weather changed, and it's now not gonna rain at all for a full one more week. So, and it showed like thunderstorms every day this week, and now it's just like sunny and hot, no more thunderstorms, which is annoying. I was pretty excited to not have to water the garden at all and to have the garden just get totally drenched, you know? I do have to do a double water now, I think, for this week. I'm gonna have to do one in the morning and one at night, because by the time we get to the watering at the end of the day, everything is bone dry. Laura, did you see my hood on my hoodie in Discord? I did! It looks amazing. I like that you used more than one color on that hoodie. Looks great, AJ. And Frida said, I like oatmeal. I make it in the microwave with water and salt, and then I have a slightly tart lingonberry jam on top, or applesauce. I haven't added salt to mine. I know in the packets there's salt. Also, excuse my itching. I have poison ivy all over my legs, and it is... I've given up on trying not to itch it. It's so itchy. There's probably salt in the instant oatmeal, but I don't usually add salt. Is it? Why? Why do you need to add salt? Does it matter? Or is it just a flavor thing? The eggs here in the Netherlands are getting more expensive too. I had to get a pack of 6 and it was €4. Oh my god. 6 eggs for €4? That's almost €1 per egg? That's crazy. That's crazy. Whoa. Is it like €8 a dozen then? That's a lot of money. I mean, like, it's probably the correct price for if you were giving chickens like a life that isn't terrible. It's probably a more reasonable price for eggs. Eggs should probably be more expensive. Not the cheapest. Oh, it's the organic kind. Biological is the en français way to say organic. En anglais is organic. But even so, yeah, I'm glad you got chickens last year for that reason. Speaking of which, how's Laura doing? Laura the chicken. Eggs here used to be around $1 a dozen. It's now pushing $3 a dozen. They're well over $3 a dozen here now. I mean, again, you guys, US, me, Canada, so the dollars are changed. But yeah, our eggs are in the $4, $5 range now. I don't buy eggs at all, ever. Since we had chickens, I've not purchased eggs. I don't want to. And we don't have chickens now. My parents have our chickens, so we don't get eggs all the time. We go to my parents to get eggs when we want to have eggs. So probably like every other week we get a dozen eggs, maybe. And some weeks we won't get any. So I would say we probably go through 2 dozen eggs a month. But I don't buy them anymore at all. Since we got our first chickens, I haven't purchased eggs anymore because I hate everything about that system. I hate everything about the chicken system. I don't like it. It hurts my feelings, and I love my chickens so much. And like, yes, I love them so much and I can eat them. I have both. Those are both okay. I can love something and it can be food. But the way that it's like, okay, all chickens that you eat or get food from are female chickens. The eggs that you get are laid by a female chicken. The meat that you buy is female chicken meat. Anything you get chicken related, it came from a female chicken. All the birds that get hatched in those hatcheries are like 90% of the males are immediately killed. It's like the babies hatch, they go through sexing. So some people who know how to check if it's a girl or a boy chicken do the check, and if it's a boy, they go down one conveyor belt, and if it's a girl, they go down the other conveyor belt. And the boy conveyor belt leads to a meat grinder. There is no life at all if you're born a boy chicken. It just doesn't happen for you. If you're a hatching egg, like if you're like Murray McMurray Hatchery, I know you've heard of them on all of the homesteading channels. They're a hatchery, yes, but they also sell boy chicks, right? Like they have like straight run. So sure, 10% of the boys will survive, but in like the egg hatching industry, no, they are immediately ground up. And if there is a seller or a buyer, they can be sold for dog food or like animal feed, like to go into another type of animal feed. They're not for human consumption, but there's no euthanasia. They aren't dropped into somewhere and suffocated, or there's no gentle death for the baby birds. They hatch, they work so hard to hatch out of the egg. Like if you've seen a baby chicken hatch, it's the fight for their life. Not every chick hatches. Like they don't, bless you, they don't all make it out of the egg. So all the ones that make it out of the egg, they're immediately put into a meat grinder. Like, ugh, what a terrible system. And like, you'd think with the amount of chicken and the amount of eggs that we eat as a society, they would have scientifically figured out how to just have girls hatch at this point. Like crocodiles and alligators and stuff, the egg temperature impacts if it's going to be a girl or a boy, alligator, crocodile. So the eggs around the outside of the crocodile's nest end up being girls or whatever, and the eggs in the middle that are all on top of each other end up being boys or whatever. And that keeps the genetic sexing going. But with chickens, it's just hatch them all and 50% of them will die. Like, why? It seems so twisted. Or like, couldn't they do a scan really early on that would show the sex differentiation? Like, if they're vaccinating chicks before they even come out of the eggs, if they're giving the chicks antibiotics before they even come out of the eggs, like, if all this stuff is happening before they come out of the eggs, why can't they sex them beforehand? And if they can't, if it's not available, it's just not a thing that we have yet, why is nobody figuring that out? Why are they hatching all these baby animals that are just getting crunched up? And I know that's not the egg industry, but it is also the egg industry, because those chickens that hatch for the egg industry need to hatch every 6 months, because the girl chickens who lay eggs that you purchase to eat, they lay eggs from 6 months old to 1 year old, and then they are sold for dog food, the hens. So in that 6 month period, chicks are hatched. At 6 months, they start laying. From 6 months to a year, they lay a lot, and then they die. So the system is very quick, even though chickens live 10 years. Like, chickens in captivity can live 12, 13 years. But in the egg industry, these chickens are bred to carry no weight on them. Like, they're skinny little meat, sinewy yuck. And their genetic creation is just to lay eggs. So if humans have made them perfect egg-laying machines that lay an obscene amount of eggs for what the actual animal does, couldn't they just make them only lay girl eggs? Or couldn't they make them... I just don't understand how they haven't scienced their way out of murdering all of the baby boy chicks. I just don't understand. Also, I'm not vegan. I'll let you know that. I'm not vegan. I eat meat. I have one of our roosters that we grew last year still in my freezer that I have not cooked. I'm gonna do chicken soup with him. But yeah, our roosters, when we had too many, we got them processed for meat. And I might do that again this year with the I am Samani roosters if my parents are unable to sell them. Because my parents have a whole bunch of I am Samani roosters right now. I went over there and I cut all their wings last night because they're flying now. Well, I cut one side of the feathers. The company I worked for recently bought up a company that sorts chicks. When that happened, I let my boss know I will never work on that project. Yeah, because it's super distressing. How disconnected from our food have we become, you know? And don't get me wrong, I love eating eggs. Eggs are tasty, and I like eating meat. Meat is tasty, but I don't like the idea of buying eggs, knowing that the chicken that laid them may already be sold for dog food by the time I'm eating my eggs, because they only give them 6 months to lay, and they don't check if they're still laying. They just wipe out all of those chickens and put all new chickens in. And then all those chickens end up getting sold to brokers who sell them to dog food companies. The other people those people sell to, we actually got 4 chickens from a broker who purchased from a egg farm. And they purchased 500 chickens from an egg farm, and we purchased from them for $5 a piece 4 1-year-old hens. They were a year old. Daisy, Rosie, Posy, and Fern. Those were our 4 white leghorn. Sorry, I was going to say white sex-link. It's red sex-link. White leghorn chickens. They're still laying eggs every day. Oh, no, they're not. They're dead. One is alive. Hold on, let me think. Their babies are laying eggs every day. We had a fox intrude at the end of last fall, and they killed my favorite chickens because, of course, they did. Anyway, we have their babies, but they were still laying all the way up until then, and they lay all winter. So by the time they died, they were in their 4.5 year, and they were still laying eggs every day. So they get destroyed because at the 1 year mark, they start slowing down on egg production. They don't. They produce a crazy amount of eggs, but they're only kept from the 6 month to 1 year mark. We could have rooster meat if they grew. Yes, we could, but there would also be a possibility of fertilized eggs. And if you have any boys, that possibility becomes there could be fertilized eggs. And nobody wants to crack an egg open with a baby bird in it, because that is disgusting. Ask me how I know. Yeah, not if the eggs are gonna be as cheap as possible. Exactly. You can't have any humanity at all given to those chicks if you want the eggs to be cheap. Frida, I've done that. Yep. And when you did it ruin your whole day? I'm scarred. Yeah, me too. Scarred has 2 R's. Scared has 1 R. So you wrote I'm scared. Just so you know, scarred 2 R's. My oldest chicken is 5 and she's still laying strong. Poppy is still laying almost every day, and Poppy was an old, like, not an old, like 6 months to a year old. She was like already 4 when we got her, which would make her now 7, and she still lays almost every day. Like, almost every day she still lays. Her eggshells are thinner now. And sometimes she has gigantic eggs with a double yolk in them, but she still lays regularly. She hasn't had any... there's no reason for her to not just be kept still as an egg-laying chicken. She is a shady... excuse my language. She's a shady bitch, but that's what I love about her. Like my mom said, I was talking to my mom yesterday because the chickens aren't laying very much. My parents aren't chicken farmers. They adopted my chickens when Alex and I moved off of our farm. So they were wondering why they have 20 something chickens. Why are they only getting 5 to 8 eggs a day? And I was explaining to them, like, it's hot, and chickens only have the capacity to do one of 3 things. Chickens only do 3 things. They grow eggs, they stay warm, and they grow feathers. Those are the only 3 things that they can do. They can only do one of those 3 things at a time. So when it's really cold, or stay cool or stay hot. So in the winter, staying warm takes up all their energy, so they can't grow feathers and they can't lay eggs. Obviously, that's not a hard and fast rule. Some chickens lay eggs all winter and some chickens molt in the winter. But the overarching rule is there's 3 jobs a chicken can perform: egg laying, body temperature regulation, and what was the third one? Staying warm. Oh, growing feathers. Growing feathers, laying eggs, or staying warm or cool. So when it's 35 degrees Celsius outside, all of the energy the chicken has is going into staying cool. So their feathers start to look worn out. They're not preening and keeping themselves clean and beautiful the same way they do when they're comfortable. They're just trying to stay cool. So their feathers end up looking dull and raggedy, and they stop laying eggs. Then the weather breaks, and they start laying eggs again, and they don't have to worry about staying warm or cold. If it's really cold and they're all huddled together trying to stay warm, they're doing that. They're not growing eggs. So then when they molt, when they grow a whole new set of feathers, they can't keep themselves warm or cool, so you have to make sure they have, if they're in the process of molting, which you'll know because there's feathers everywhere. When they're molting, you can like grab one of your chickens and just like slough off a bunch of feathers. But anyway, when it's feather molting time, you have to make sure your chickens can stay warm. You have to know that they can't keep themselves warm right now, and they probably won't be laying eggs. And when they're laying eggs in high productivity, they're comfortable and they have good feathers, and that's just the way it is. So when I was explaining that to my parents, they're spending $30 a week on these chickens, which honestly they are spending too much, but that's because they weren't measuring food. They were just filling the chicken feeder whenever it was empty, which chickens are like Labrador retrievers. They will continue eating, and when chickens eat too much, they don't get overfilled. Their digestive system speeds up. So if you only feed chickens a little bit, the food will stay inside of their gizzard for a while, and they'll get more nutrients. If you feed them tons and tons of food, it speeds up, so they'll just poop more. Like, you're not getting more eggs by feeding them more food. Once you hit a certain threshold, it's just not worth it to feed them more. And I was trying to explain that to my parents, but they treat them like a pet. So they're like, the food is empty, we have to refill it. And I was like, there's grass, there's grubs, there's exercise to be had. They don't need to be fed. And the amount a chicken needs, at least from the research I did, is about half a cup of chicken feed per day per bird. So if they have 25 birds, they only need to be giving 12 or 13 cups of food, but they're probably giving each bird a cup a day, like a ton of food. So anyway, the chickens are not laying very reliably right now. So my parents were trying to broach the subject with me of what if we rehome some of them? And I'm like, obviously that's not what I want. I would like to keep all of them at my parents' farm until Alex and I can get our next farm. But realistically, that's not going to be anytime soon, and those chickens are going to stop laying before that. And it'd be better to rehome them while they still lay eggs so that I can be pretty sure they're not going to be eaten. Because if you sell a chicken that no longer lays eggs, they're typically used for food. Some places will take them as rescues, like as pets. Some people will take them as pets, but for the most part, if you're selling an old chicken, you're selling meat. So some of the chickens are going to be rehomed. I'm going to try and rehome the older girls who are still laying. I'm going to try and rehome them as a flock because I know they're still laying. Like Buttercup lays a beautiful blue-green egg. My mom doesn't want to get rid of Sunflower because she's so beautiful. And I was like, Sunflower isn't laying. I can tell you off the bat, So as soon as it gets hot, Sunflower. She's a silver-laced Wyandotte, and she doesn't lay when she's hot or when she's stressed. And then Sweet Pea, who is a bantam, what is she called? Bantam something. Bantam just means small. Slinky, I think you need to tell Alex that. What if we just had one house chicken? Like, just one house chicken. I think one house chicken would be appropriate. But it was funny because I was saying to my mom, which ones do you want to keep just off the bat? Because she's interacting with them all the time. So she's gotten to know the ones she likes, and she's gotten to dislike the ones she doesn't like. Like, they have one that they have a kind of a nasty nickname for. I'm not going to repeat it. But she's the tomato bad word because she actively sneaks away from the flock to eat ripe tomatoes, even though my mom surrounded all of her tomato gardens with Swiss chard and kale and cabbage plants to distract the chickens. This one chicken runs right by them and goes for the red tomatoes. So like that one may not get the same treatment as Sweet Pea. My mom loves Sweet Pea because she's small. And my mom loves Ducky, which is a Ayam Samani female, because she's small. So I think that there's still going to be a little flock. I just don't think it's going to be a 20-something bird flock. I think probably in the winter they want to pare it down. I don't know how many. In my head, I'm saying like between 6 and 12. I don't believe that because I know my mom and dad, they don't want to hurt my feelings. And I know that because they didn't say they want to rehome any of the chickens because they know that I love those chickens. But I don't have a farm. I'm not paying for their feed, and I'm not the one who has to clean up after them right now. I did clean their coop in the spring because I felt somewhat obligated because they were all my birds. But really, my parents, it's not their responsibility to keep those chickens, and also they'll never ask me, like they'll never actually ask me to rehome them. They'll make, not comments, but almost inferences of, it feels like they don't want to have all of the chickens anymore. And I don't know if that's me being overly sensitive and reading into, body language and phrasing and whatever, but I mentioned it and they said, oh, really? You wouldn't really mind? So I know they've thought about it. So I think I'm going to take the pictures I have of the beautiful flock that we used to have and put a few of the birds together as like a packaged flock and see if anybody's interested in getting some loved pets as a flock around here, just to see if there's any interest. But yeah, what if you offered to pay for the feed? Yes, that's part of it for sure. But it's also, it's like a whole thing. It's like they want eggs now. So I think that if they were to get more chickens, they would probably get some young girls. Again, these chickens that I loved for years they are pets, but they're not pets the way a dog is a pet. And honestly, after Diane died, I was devastated. I was super, super heartbroken. It was like, first, we lost Clover at the farm to the fox attack. And that was just so heartbreaking because she's just such a sweet chicken. And then Diane died and my heart broke. I don't know it sounds so stupid because she was a chicken, but she was my heart chicken. I loved her very, very much. So it was really sad when she died. After that, the only chicken I have left in my parents' flock that I would rather have a house chicken than rehome is Poppy. And she would literally rather die than become a house chicken. She is a feral bird, honestly. Poppy is the red sex link that we got second, actually. We got Diane and Clover first, and then Poppy second. And Poppy is the only one who's left out of that, the initial 3 chickens we had. The first 3 chickens we had, Poppy still remains, and she still lays eggs. So if my parents wanted to get rid of her, I would convince Alex to let her live with us, even though she wouldn't even want to. Other than that, though, it's mostly babies from last year. Like Buttercup is an old chicken, Clementine is an old chicken, Sweet Pea is an old chicken. Marigold, did I say Marigold? There's not very many from the original flock. It's mostly the babies now. So I think that Buttercup, I don't think my mom would want to rehome Sweet Pea. She's little. My mom likes the little chickens. Like what is his name? Pearl. Sorry, I forgot his name. Pearl, the silky. They like him. He's mean. He attacks people. He makes all kinds of a ruckus. He attacks all the other chickens, and my parents don't want to rehome that one. Like, what? So I think that their priorities, they think that their priorities are eggs, but when you actually talk through it, I think it's cute, egg-laying, pretty young birds is what they're looking for, which is fair. When I started our flock, I was looking for cute, pretty, egg-laying young birds also, and I created a beautiful flock with that goal in mind. But I think that since most of our original flock is dead because of that fox attack, it's mostly the babies from last year. I think it's probably 5 of the grown-up birds from our original flock are left, and those 5 could go together as their own flock, and that would be okay with me. So for you, starting over with a new flock might be good and slightly healing. Well, it doesn't make much of a difference for me personally because I'm not caring for them, Rebecca. Hi, by the way, Rebecca. I'm not the one caring for them day to day. Like, I go over there and I clip their wings when they need their wings clipped. I clip I clip their flight feathers on their wings. I don't make them bleed. I don't hurt them. I just clip the tips of their flight feathers, and that creates an imbalance when they try to fly, which makes them stop trying to fly. So I don't hurt the birds, don't worry. But I do that. I don't feed them. I don't water them. I don't clean their mess up. I'm not in charge of any of that because they live with my parents. So knowing that my parents are the ones doing all the labor, they need to get rewarded for that labor. And if they are not feeling rewarded with the current flock, then it doesn't make sense to keep it the way it is, because then it's just work. There's no joy from it. And so yeah, I think they might keep the girl I Am Samanis that they still have. They've rehomed a couple of them because they sold the I Am Samani girls with the I Am Samani boys. So like an I Am Samani girl and boy together. So they still have a few I Am Samani girls and boys left. They have one I Am Samani rooster. They got rid of either Mick or Drogon. I'm not sure which one they sold, but they sold one of their 2 main roosters because the roosters started fighting. I Am Samanis are like notoriously mean birds. These ones aren't. The babies aren't. The babies let you catch them very easily and come up to you and let you like reach over them and pick them up really easily. So we did a good job, you guys. We did a good job hand raising them indoors this spring because they are really friendly birds, which is great. I don't think my parents will get new ones anytime soon because right now the price of young chickens, like pullets, is insane. Like $60 for like a 4 to 6 month old bird. Which is way more. It used to be $15, $20, but now that they're harder to come by, that's how price increases go. But yeah, I think that that's something that's going to be happening at least soonish. I think there's going to be a bit of a smaller flock moving forward. At least for the winter. Maybe they'll get some more in the spring or something, but I don't think they're going to feed 25 birds every day for a potential of 5 eggs a day, There's also something to be said for the fact that a whole bunch of babies were added to the flock, and if you'll remember last year, when we added the babies to our flock at our farm, it slows down egg production to add babies into the flock because all the birds have to reorder their pecking order. It's stressful for everybody, and they all just stop laying for a while. So lots of reasons why they might stop laying, but My reasons are the heat. That's the main reason. The heat. They slow down or stop their laying because of the heat. If this is not interesting, I apologize. It's just what's on my mind. Oh. Sorry, my eye just started watering when I yawned. I just mean that I know you had hopes of regaining your girls in the future. A new flock later might be renewing. Yeah, I think that's true. And also, yeah, I had hopes of getting those chickens back. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think that I will get any of my actual birds back. If Poppy lives forever, I will take her back, because I will not rehome Poppy, because she will not be rehomed. She will be made into food. She is too old. Her egg laying is not consistent enough. Her egg quality is not consistent enough. She is not... I told my mom, this one is not to be rehomed at all. It's... I don't know why. It doesn't make sense. Poppy's not friendly. She's not pretty. She's just a red sex link, which is a, like, one of the egg-laying breeds of chicken, so she's sketchy looking. She also came from a farm that had, like, 100 chickens, so she's rough and scrappy and mean to the other birds, and she's totally an alpha, and I love her. And I love her. And maybe it's just because she was my third chicken, and she's the only one alive from that first trio of birds. It's very possible that that's why, but I think that I would like to, if Poppy lives long enough for us to get a farm, I will take Poppy back. But the rest of the birds are babies. Like, one of them is Diane's baby, which makes me have feelings about her, but she's not Diane, you know? And one of them is Diane's babies. One of them is Clementine's babies. Actually, I think two of them are Diane's babies. Feiruz and Winona are both Diane's babies. But anyway, we've got the next generation from my flock, but from our original flock, there's not very many left. And Poppy is the only one that I have, like, really particular feelings for. The others, obviously, I love them, but not the way that I loved Diane, Clover, and Poppy. They were just something special. But yeah, in the future, I will have chickens again. That is not something that I'm giving up at all in my heart. I will be someone who has chickens again. I just don't think it's going to be within the next 2 years, and having my parents keep birds that don't lay eggs for 3 years so that I can have them back isn't really cost effective or functional, really. So some of the birds, I think this fall, they're probably going to get rehomed. But not Poppy. Poppy will not be rehomed. Poppy will be the alpha female until I can take her home with me. And if for some reason my parents have to rehome Poppy, then Poppy will just live here in my house in the middle of the city, because she deserves it. She has been a perfect egg-laying chicken her whole life. Other than being like an actual psychotic bully, she amazing bird. Poppy was my namesake, so to speak. Poppy is my fave. She is lovely. She's beautiful. I mean, like, she's bright orange. She's a pretty bird. How big is your shawl? It looks much bigger today. It's getting bigger. It's not quite shawl sized yet, but it is getting bigger, Rebecca. Ooh, did I lose it? No, I didn't. I almost lost that stitch. We are now at this length, this width, this height. Oh, I did yoga for the last 2 days. And now I can crack my back again. I named her. I remember when we named all of them, and we like went through, gosh, we should go through my journals at some point to go through when we were going through the naming. Like with Diane, I remember being so happy that I got to name a little black chicken Diane, because, well, she's not little, she was a big chicken. Like, here's her skeleton. She's a big bird. But Diane the chicken, when I named her, I was so happy about it, because I always wanted a cat named Diane, or like, it was Diane that I wanted, because I thought it was really, really funny. Sorry, I just itched myself and made myself bleed. Tip, if you drop a stitch, you can pick it up with a crochet hook. Well, let's hope we don't get there I hope that I don't have to learn that. I mean, I'm happy to know that there is a solution, AJ, but I would really like to not ever have to drop stitches. But I remember getting to name Diane and then being like, what are we going to name the chickens after? Like, we should do a theme. And then we picked plants. Remember all the original flock? We had Diane, Clover, Poppy, Sunflower, hold on, Sunflower, Buttercup, Clementine, Marigold, Rosie Posy, Daisy and Fern, Sweet Pea, Bluebell, who else did we have? Gosh, we had quite a few really good names, didn't we? Did you finish her display? I must have missed that. I didn't finish her display. I've glued almost all of her bones together. I can show you what I've got done. I haven't got her into a cloche yet because we haven't found one that's big enough for that chicken skeleton because Diane's skeleton is huge. But I can show it to you. Oh gosh. I just tripped over yarn. Oh, we lost a leg. I have to re-glue her leg back on. Oops. There. Miss Beautiful Diane. This is also her feathers. I haven't figured out how to incorporate her feathers yet, so it just sits inside her collarbone to be beautiful up there. But here's my beautiful heart chicken. This is my favorite chicken, Diane. I did this taxidermy all by myself. It doesn't look like taxidermy. It's called a European mount. That's when you just do the bones articulated. This is an articulated skeleton. Her other leg is over on the shelf because the glue must have disconnected. But look at all those bones. Do you see all those bones? I glued all of these bones together. This is like 17 bones. Yeah, she was a big girl. Look at. Ah! There. Close your mouth, Diane. Don't be rude. Yeah, she was a big girl. And also her bones are not as big as how big her whole body was. Her body was even bigger than this because there was fat and meat on it. She was a beautiful girl. And her skeleton is now a beautiful part of my decor, along with my skeleton of my cat. Someday, your skull will be added to the mantle, sir. It will. Not any day soon, but someday. I am going to be the weird older lady with many animal skulls. And people will be like, what are those? And I'll be like, my pets. Because that's the person I have become. But once you start, you can't stop. Like, once we got CJ's skull done, I was like, well, now we're in for it. Like, you can't just only get one cat's skull done and then have other pets and not get their skulls done. So, if we live on a farm by the time... if we live on a farm again, I will do the taxidermy myself. If we live in the city, I will not do any of the taxidermies myself because it's a very messy, smelly job. And I would rather not. But with CJ's skull, we got him done by a professional and they did a beautiful job on him. I think I did an okay job with Diane. I mean, it's not the same as CJ's skull, but I think I did a good job. I'm glad that I kept her. I mean, like, it was a lot of work and I wasn't able to keep her in my freezer for a long time. She's a huge bird. And also, she was a whole chicken, like, with feathers and blood and everything. Like, my parents froze her in a bag for me, but that was a big animal to be in a bag, so I had to do the whole thing, like, pluck the feathers, cook all the meat off. Luckily, after the feathers were plucked off, she didn't look like Diane anymore, so it wasn't super traumatizing. I mean, pulling the feathers off of my favorite bird was a little effed up, but I knew what the final goal was, so it was worth it. And it ended up working out for me because I'm very happy with that skeleton. And someday I will find a container large enough to fit her in. Probably it'll need to be some kind of display case cabinet, but we'll get there when we get there. My beautiful Diane. Gosh, I can't wait until we can have chickens again, you guys. After talking about all that taxidermy, it made me want to have chickens again. I want to have egg laying, rainbow egg basket again. Do you remember we had a rainbow egg basket with like green, blue, light green, dark green, chocolate brown, white, cream, pink. Gosh, the eggs in our egg basket were so beautiful. We had such lovely lovely layers, and all of them were beautiful because I built our flock one at a time. So instead of buying 30 chickens, I bought 2 chickens, and then I bought 1 chicken, and then I bought 2 chickens, then I bought 3 chickens, and then I bought 1 chicken, like from multiple farms, lots of different farms. Also, this was before the bird flu thing was happening around here, so I didn't bring any diseases into my flock by getting them from like 20 different farms. Thank the Lord. I wouldn't be doing that today because the bird flu spreading. You wouldn't want to be having lots of sources for one flock, but when I did it, we had so many sources. We drove all over. We drove an hour one way, an hour and a half a different way. Like, we drove all over most of Ontario, all over southern Ontario to collect my beautiful flock, and it was so worth it. We had a great time with them. Alex loved having the chickens. I loved having the chickens. They kept my depression under control because even on the worst of days, I had to go out and feed and water the chickens, and they live outside. So, like, you have to get out of your house and, like, go and open the chicken coop in the morning, and then you have to get their food and water at a different time of morning. You collect the eggs at a different time of day. It's like, it forces you to get outside 4 times a day, which, if you are someone who deals with depression, that sometimes doesn't happen. So having chickens forces you to do that, which was awesome for me. Especially in the winter. Oh God, I could go days without going outside in the winter. When we had chickens, you can't. You have to go outside because the chickens need food and they need water that isn't frozen. And by the time you get out there to give them water that isn't frozen, you want to hang out with them for a while because they're so cute and they talk and they make all kinds of cute noises. And they have different little personalities. Obviously, chickens are not going to be the same as dogs or cats or anything, but wow, their little personalities are so silly. Their little noises are silly. And they make food. We were talking about this, my mom and I, yesterday afternoon. 1 chicken worth of meat feeds a family of 4 for dinner. Nothing else, just dinner one night. But 1 chicken will lay an egg a day for years. So eggs are better than chicken. And that's my story. What are you guys working on, by the way? Today I'm going to be finishing my natural dye video on the avocado skins and pits. I used all of them, Candace. Literally all of the skins and pits from the avocado I used. So the dye bath is very saturated. And also, along with doing the natural dye today, I'm also going to be processing a bunch of these veggies. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to make this pile smaller because this pile is a bit much right now. Damn, I better get eaten more. Yeah, totally. I haven't knit or crocheted this summer. That's okay, Rebecca. When it's hot, it's hard to handle heavy wool yarn when it's hot. I get that. I've just been kind of all over the place with my crafting lately. This knit just started a couple days ago. But yeah, it's been a while since I've crocheted anything either. I feel like the last crochet thing I did was one of the baby sweaters. That was months ago. Also, Candace, oh my God, I have to say this. I don't think I said it in the video that I filmed, but I have to say this. You are a saint. That's all. You guys should have seen the avocados that Candace saved for me. Not only did Candace save, 6 months worth of avocado, Candace? That was a lot of avocado. Not only did Candace save so much avocado skins and pits for me, she also washed them so there was no green avocado flesh left inside, and like dried them so they didn't stick together. I was baffled, Candace. When I opened the bag, I was like, I can just pull out. They're loose. I can move them around. They're not rock hard, solid, stuck together. They're so clean. It was amazing. So thank you. That was lovely of you. And also very appreciated when I was doing my dyeing. Thank you for the bless you, V. Frida, I'm being miserable. 3 hours of sleep, itchy, not a pleasant person today. Ugh, I'm sorry, Frida, that sucks. 3 hours of sleep is not enough, itchy is not a good vibe, and grumpy is not a good vibe. I'm sorry you're dealing with all the things. Of course I washed and air dried them separately, then froze them. Of course you did. I'm just saying that was above and beyond in every way, so thank you. AJ, note, I'm designing crochet Wakanda Forever hoodie. Got the back for the Black Panther's movie coming out as tribute for the Black Panther actor who passed away. Gotta love Marvel. Same as washing all the eggshells. Yes, I told my mom about that yesterday too, because I meant to bring them to the farm yesterday. I brought them egg cartons, and I brought them their empty bushel, but did I remember to bring the eggshells? No. But I was telling my mom about that, how they're like all washed and dried, so you can just crumble them. It was a very extra work you did, so thank you for doing the extra work. I appreciate it. And AJ, about your sweater, are you doing any like motif on the sweater, or is it just going to be color coordinated to match the Wakanda Forever vibes, or is it actually going to say Wakanda Forever on it? And I feel bad on the cartoons now that the girls aren't laying. Well, the girls will eventually start laying. Don't feel bad about them. That was an amazing thing that you did. And also, they will get used up. We're still waiting to see if anyone gets symptoms of papaya from the exposure this past Saturday. I hope nobody does. For you. I hope nobody does. I want to go swim in the lake. Probably not a good idea. I don't even know if I'll make it there and back. Oh. Have Ola carry you to the lake. Yes, it's gonna say Wakanda Forever. Okay, cool. Cool. Very cool. I can't wait to make myself another sweater with a panther on the front. Oh, cool. That's exciting. How are you gonna do the panther? The questions. So, what am I going to do with all these vegetables? That's something else that I need to figure out. The potatoes, I'll probably just cook them for dinner, like make boiled potatoes or something, or baked potatoes or mashed potatoes, something like that. Nothing special going on there. What about with the eggplants? Color work or maybe a patch? Okay, cool. Ola says he's getting the wheelbarrow. He'll wheel you out and then tip you into the lake, Frida. And then just scoop you back up like a bulldozer. That's funny. Do you see my knitting speed, you guys? I'm literally like an expert. I'd be okay with that, Frida. Hey, if it works, it works. How far is the lake? How far of a walk is a lake from your house? Because I think that might change it, right? So the cherry tomatoes, I'm gonna jar them. The big tomatoes, we'll probably use them this week in food. Eggplants, I'll probably do stuffed eggplants for the big fat ones. What about the skinny eggplant? And then onions, again, we'll just eat those this week as food. The peppers, the big bell peppers, maybe I'll do stuffed peppers. Maybe I'll do stuffed peppers and freeze them. Cut and freeze them for later or make soup. Yeah, well, I think that freezing, if I'm gonna freeze them, I think I'd like to freeze meals as opposed to freezing ingredients, you know? I feel like when I freeze ingredients, I'm less likely to use them. I feel more like if I make a food that's already food that I just have to like pop in the oven for half an hour kind of thing, that would be better. So I think stuffed peppers would be a good one. Stuffed eggplant, I could probably do that in advance. I don't know how eggplant freezes. Not a road, a tiny forest path, 5 minutes, 300 meters. Okay, can the tiny forest path fit a wheelbarrow? Because then it's fine. A yummy tomato sandwich. Yeah, the big ones will be yummy tomato sandwiches. That's what I had for breakfast today, Rebecca. So totally, tomato sandwiches for the tomatoes. But for the peppers, I brought home kind of a lot. Do you like making your own tomato sauce? No, but not because I don't like it. It's just that my mom makes so much every year. She makes like like sauce. So it's kind of one of those things that I've never had to make because my mom makes so much of it. Maybe I could do my own salsa, something like that, because my mom doesn't really make salsa. She makes salsa sometimes, but not like the way she makes sauce like for the apocalypse every year. And it's always delicious, and it never lasts till the apocalypse, but she makes enough that when you see it, you're like, there's no way your family could eat all of that in a year. Let me tell you, hold my beer is the vibe I get. Salsa sounds yummy. I could make a nice spicy one for Alex, because another thing I want to make for him is hot sauce. Do any of you know how to make hot sauce? Because I have jalapenos and, what was the other ones I said? Poblanos? I think it's jalapenos and poblanos I have. One of them is called something else, and I don't remember the name off the top of my head. It's long and skinny, but it's not a chili. For the apocalypse. You know what I mean? Like when you see it, you're like, oh, that'll last until the end of time. And then the next summer, there's only a few jars left. It's because every time any kid comes home, you take a few jars of tomato sauce, you know? Nope, lots of roots and rocks and the occasional sheep. Your forest sheep? Your Swedish forest sheep. Wow, that's a hard word. Swedish forest sheep. That's like the she sells seashells by the seashore. You know? Mississippi. M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. I-P-P-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-M. I feel like all of those things have the same energy to me. And a way I learned to save money on yarn is to think of knitting and crochet as opportunity to make clothes. That is true, AJ. I feel like I have saved money on fabric by doing that, saying like, I'm not buying it because I like it. I'm buying it if I need it for a clothing thing. I'm trying not to buy clothes either right now. I mean, obviously that didn't go well. I went thrifting last weekend, but other than that, I'm trying to, when I notice I need a new thing, like, oh, this thing is worn out, I need a new thing, I'm trying to see if I can make it instead of buy it, or if I can upcycle it, and then if I can't, then if I can thrift it. So that's my new plan moving forward, is no more things off of a brand new store shelf. I just don't think it's necessary for me. I don't have a style that is trendy, so it's not something that I need. Like, I don't need to go to stores each season to replace items. Totally, though. And actually, he was being very nice, making coffee, defrosting a vanilla bun, a cinnamon bun, but with vanilla instead. That sounds delicious. And that is nice of him. Husbands, you can't live without them. Unless you can, and then I'm happy for you. I saw most of my winter gear was too small, so I bought 4 sweater quantities of yarn. Ooh, 4 sweater quantities of yarn for $44. That's a good vibe. I would like 4 sweater quantities of yarn for $40 off of your $50 budget. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, the path to the lake goes through a sheep enclosure. They're only there sometimes until they have eaten all of the stuff. All right, what's a hot sauce recipe, you guys? I know hot sauce usually has vinegar and salt and hot peppers. What other things does it have in it? Those are the 3 ingredients I know about inside hot sauce. Hot peppers, vinegar, and salt. I don't know what else is included. And do I have to blend it? Do I stew it and cook it first? Is it a raw thing? Is it a fermented thing? Is it a combination item? You know? Jalapeno hot sauce might be really nice, actually. Like, just green jalapeno hot sauce. It wouldn't be too spicy, but the flavor of jalapenos is nice. I've never made hot sauce. Neither have I. But I think that would be something fun. For me, I think. There's a possibility it'll be terrible, because I'll touch my eyes, nose, and mouth while I'm making it. But, you know, I need to shop with you, Amaris. Yeah, right? We all need to go on a shopping trip where Amaris shops. 5 sweaters for $40? That's cheaper than buying the sweaters new. Walmart bulk order, 2 colors for $22. It's a Bernat premium yarn. Cool. 2 colors. Oh, bulk buying, smart. Schmorty pants. Dang, this thing is getting big. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm like about halfway through the ball of yarn now. And this is how big it is. So I have a feeling this is going to be a really good sized triangle shawl after all. Very yellow. Very, very yellow. Perhaps a little too yellow for me, but we'll see. I was thinking if we do a second ball of yarn in a different color for the second half of this triangle shawl, what if after that we dip dye like the long side just up to like here in iron mordant, so it's like a green that fades to the two yellows. 6 skeins for in each color, and it only takes me 2 skeins for a sweater if I knit 3 or 4 from crochet. Cool. If I knit 3 and 4 from crochet. Okay, cool. My friend accidentally bought a cheese with smoked ghost peppers inside of it. She gave it to me and my oldest is slowly chipping away at it. Yeah, ghost peppers are they're a bit too hot for me. That's a bit too much for me. I think habanero is as hot as I go. Habanero, poblano, serrano, and actually no, these are serranos. Did I say poblanos? These are serranos. Serrano peppers. So poblano, serrano, jalapeno, and habanero. Those are the hot peppers that I interact with. My mom is also growing Scotch bonnet and Thai chili. And I could do something with Scotch bonnet and Thai chili also, but I have not done so. And I am making plans to buy some glow-in-the-dark yarn for a crochet spider web for Halloween. Oh, that's a cool idea. Ooh, glow-in-the-dark yarn. That's smart. For spider webs. Oh gosh, spooky season is almost here. I'm not ready. I had a dream yesterday that it was, or last night, that it was October. And it was like repeated in the dream multiple times to the point where I woke up and I was like, is something happening in October? What's happening in October? Is it going to be something bad? Because it felt like a ominous mentions of October in my dream. Like all the tomatoes are off the plants now because it's October. No more fruit is coming because it's October. Like in my dream, it happened multiple times where it was like, everything's dying in the garden because it's October. And so it made me wake up and go like, what's happening in October? Jeez Louise. And I tried it. It's very hot. The heat doesn't linger though, so that's good. That's what I like about things like, I mean, I know it's not hot, but like things like sauerkraut and wasabi. It's like hot, but only for a sec. Hot peppers are hot for so much longer, you know? I wish Sid was here. I would ask them to look at my horoscope to see if October's going to be good vibes or if it's like bad warnings for me. Because it felt like it was telling me that it's going to be hard after October, and I don't want it to be hard again. Alex and I just got out of a really hard season of like our journey, not our couple journey, our life journey. And it's like everything just chilled out after last year. I'm not wanting it to come back. Also, it's August 10th. In 8 days from today, it's 1 year from when Alex and my wedding was supposed to be. So we would have been getting ready to celebrate our 1 year anniversary. Which, right when I said that out loud, hit me right in the heart. Oops. There I went and hurt my own feelings. I'd be getting ready for my 1 year anniversary. Can you believe that? If we had actually been able to complete the wedding that we planned, but we had to cancel it. So now I'm moving towards my no year anniversary. Oh gosh, today would be my mom's birthday. Oh, happy birthday. Sorry, Laura, that's okay, V. I went and hurt my own feelings. I went and got my feelings hurt by my own thoughts. But what can you do? Such is life. Life keeps happening even when you don't think you're ready for it, you know? Here we are. Millicent exploded. Hopefully with energy and not with a mess. She passed in 2006. Well, that's quite some time now, huh? That's still hard. I'm sorry for your loss, Rebecca. Doesn't matter if she passed in 1990, 2006, yesterday. Moms are moms are moms, you know? I don't think it would make it easier. Frida, I'm gonna need more information about Millicent's explosion. Energy and barking at something we can't see. Great! So, a ghost. Love that for her. Millicent. I'm surprised you don't call her Millie. 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 You know? Feels like a good nickname for Millicent. Millie. We call them UFOs. It's either a ghost or an alien. Something we can't see, but we just decide are there. Although after those telescope photos, it's kind of hard to be like, there is absolutely no life in the universe except us. Those pictures, they show a lot of time and also a lot of distance. There's definitely at least something else out there. Sure, maybe they're not like us, but there's definitely something else out there. A planet full of whales, you know? A planet of just shelled animals like crabs and lobsters and stuff. An ocean that only has lobsters and the food chain that they occupy, so that there are 250,000-year-old lobsters, because you know lobsters are immortal. So there's an ocean planet, I've made this up, where there is a lobster who is basically all-seeing because it's been alive for 250,000 years. Or one where octopods don't die after 3 years. So there are octopus societies because they found a way to live out their full lifetime instead of just a 3-year mini life. So then the octopus can make societies in their ocean, and the lobsters can be the overlords because they never ever die. So they're like the vampires of that universe, and the octopus are like the humans, you know? It's a vibe. That's why I love sci-fi. Fair? That was the plan, actually. Millie. But nope, Millicent, Centen, and a million nicknames. Interesting. I found Maleficent her forever home. She's such a sweet blue nose, but her and my lab, Lightning, had beef. I like when you talk about dogs not getting along as they had beef. What's a blue nose? And lobster. I watched my octopus teacher last week. I was sobbing at the end. Isn't it sad that they can live anywhere from like 1 to 3 years, depending on the variety of octopus, but they have the intelligence of like a human baby? So why do they only get to live a little while? A blue nose is a pit? Okay, cool. Is it one of the ones that's like gray? Like a gray blue pit bull is a blue nose? Oh my god. Oh, I said that. Lobster. Yeah, you wouldn't say that if they were the overlord of a society of octopus on some other planet. Or maybe there's just a planet of birds. Only birds. Everything that evolved on that planet has wings. But not everything has a beak. Maybe there's birds with teeth and birds with weird faces, but they're all winged creatures. Wouldn't that be fun? Did you know there's a jellyfish that never dies? They restart their life cycle when injured or on the verge of death. Yeah, so gray, black, they're blue. Okay, cool. Her full name is Millicent Bystander from Flushed Away. So when we were thinking of getting another dog, we had to have a name that was fun with the other last name. Lilu Multipass. Oh, Lilu Multipass is perfect. Lilu! I would love Lilu. Oh, Multipass. You know that when your dog has the zoomies, you'd have to be like, big bada boom. Totally. Big boom. Big bada boom. Oh my god. Lilu Multipass. Love that. The Slinky loved that. Slinky. Oh, the octopus teacher. Yeah. I watched it a long time ago. Or whenever it came out. Everything feels like a long time ago if it didn't happen yesterday. Am I right? Time has changed. The way that time works has changed. It just lasts longer. It's taken. The next dog is Lilu. It's decided. I like the name. I think that was a great name choice, honestly. Lilu Multipass. Big bada boom. I love it. Or whenever it rains, maybe you could say to her, big bada boom. Big boom, bada boom. She was named by her previous owner after an evil fairy, but we nicknamed her after evil fairy daughter, Mal. My sister's name is Mal. From The Descendants. Oh, okay. Maleficent. Oh, gosh. How is it still itchy? It's like dry and done. There's no active blistery bits. It's just dry and flaky, but it's still itchy. Seriously? Also, yesterday my dad saw all of my poison ivy rash, and he was like, oh my god, what the heck? And he was like, be really careful now, though, because now if you interact with poison ivy, your reaction will be way more severe. Is that true? That seems like a lot. That seems like, is that a true thing? How come no one has seen Flushed Away? I thought everyone would get it. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. Sorry. So glad it's healing up. Me too. Though blisters just showed up on my lower leg yesterday. Like new itchy blisters. Which I don't know how that happened because everywhere else on my body seems to be drying out now. Like getting to a point where it's like, it looks like an eczema patch now. I believe that's true. The more you interact with it, the more allergic you become and the worse the symptoms. That seems like a rude way for a plant to evolve, you know? Why does it need to be worse each time I interact with it? I think that once you interact with poison ivy once, you go, I don't want to do that again. I feel like you could be immune to poison ivy after the first time and you still wouldn't be touching it. That's a mean plant. It is a mean plant. Oh my god, I love Flushed Away. It's been a while. Yeah, you like it? We wouldn't name Millicent after a bad movie, obviously. Pfft. What are you? Trash? No. Name your dog after good movies. Attic, yay! Millicent Bystander? You know them? You know them? Now I want to watch Flushed Away. And gotta go therapy session. Sounds good. Have fun, AJ, with your therapies. Melanie, you too? Yay! I'm not a huge fan of this poison ivy business, though. I don't want to have a worse reaction. Thanks. My first encounter with poison ivy was bad. How was your second encounter with poison ivy, Rebecca? Like, is it going to be worse, like hospitalization worse, or is it just going to be worse, like a bigger rash or a deeper rash? My mom had the same experience as I did with poison ivy, though, where, like, as soon as you itch it, it bleeds, and it's deep. It's not like a poison, like a bite. It's not like a mosquito bite or a bee sting or anything like that, where it's just, like, inflamed. It's like when you itch it, it's a deep wound. Even if you didn't itch deep, it just, as soon as you break the skin, the wound is like, ugh. Just as bad, fair. No poison ivy in Europe. Love that for you. Yeah, but in the winter, it's, like, dark all the time. So, like, I feel like I'll take poison ivy because I get some sunshine in the winter, you know? Worth it. Does Australia have poison ivy? Probably. The poison ivy in Australia is probably, like, toxically deadly, though. Just because it's Australia, you know? And New Zealand probably has no poison ivy because they don't have anything dangerous. It's just a nice place to live. That's not Europe. That's North. What is? And no poison ivy in Europe. Well, the darkness. Oh, the darkness. The darkness. Just the statement. The darkness. The darkness isn't all of Europe. I just mean where you are. The darkness comes for you. I guess I could go live somewhere else in Europe and never experience poison ivy again. Yeah, but there's, like, stinging nettle. I'm sure there's poison oak and poison sumac and other poison plants in the UK just because they don't have poison ivy. I mean, in Europe. I said the UK. Oops. Also, if you showed up late today and you haven't clicked the like button, please do it. Click the like button. Pretty please. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's because I'm in the latitude of Newfoundland. Newfoundland doesn't get darkness all day in the winter. No, it doesn't. How come you get at the darkness? So the sun must just be just against Sweden. That's my theory. Okay. I just did a insert stream marker. What are these? Create a highlight video? How do I create a highlight video? One sec. Uh-oh. Nope, I don't want to do that. I went into a new screen and now I'm confused. Oh no. Hold on. I just clicked buttons. Now I'm confused. There we go. Okay. I got nervous. There we go. Sorry, there's new buttons at the top of my stream that made me ask questions. I'm in the south of Sweden. Well, doesn't it still get dark where you are, though? New York is aligned with Rome. What? New York is aligned with Rome, and yet New York and Rome, not similar. Not similar temperaturally. I knew what I meant. That's what's important. Caroline. Hi, Caroline. Good morning from California. Good morning. Nice to see you here this morning. Don't forget to like the video as you come in, pretty please. I just had an ad. Okay, so one of the buttons was for an ad. Good. I clicked all 3 of the new buttons. One gave you an ad. It just has a circle with a $sign in it, so I clicked it. Cool. Sorry if you got an ad. There's an ad break. Cool, I can add an ad break. Same here, I just got an ad out of nowhere. Okay, cool, so I have a button now that I can add an ad into the live stream. Unique. Which is interesting. Does that mean I could just like click it whenever I feel like it? Give everyone random ads? Sorry, everybody. Sorry. And we have the Gulf Stream evens out the temperature. Oh, okay. Yeah, it is cool. The control over the ads? I mean, weird. No, I had to restart everything. Why did you have to restart everything? Don't restart everything. Just stay here. Everything's okay. Okay, cool. So it did give you guys an ad. Sorry that I gave you an ad, but that's cool that I have control over it now. Probably I only have control over it sometimes because I've only seen that button today. I haven't seen that before. Unless it's just a new feature. Thankfully, I just renewed my premium. No ads for you. Also, even if you got an ad, I'm still going to be here after it, so it's okay. Sorry if the ad was for something stupid. If it was a good ad for something useful, then good. I was confused. I was putting lunch in the oven for the kids because there was an ad and I was typing, so... Okay. It doesn't let you guys type when the ad is happening? Like, is the chat gone when the ad is there? Interesting. Sorry, guys. Learning new things. I can also create a highlight reel, which I don't know what that means, but we'll have to try that. You got an ad for cheese. I was very interested. Cheese is good. We've been eating a lot of feta this week. I got a big, huge block of feta in brine at the grocery store, obviously. And we've just been cubing it up and adding it to tomatoes and peppers and onions and tomatoes, peppers, onions, and cucumber with a little bit of olive oil and vinegar, apple cider vinegar or red wine vinegar, and salt and pepper. Delicious. Love that for us. Oh, golly gosh. Cool, now I have investigative work to do on the back end of YouTube today. That bounty next to you, yum. Right, Caroline? I know. I went yesterday to my mom and dad's farm, and I picked a whole bunch of hot peppers, a whole bunch of sweet peppers. My mom picked some onions. We dug up potatoes together. Eggplant. I got a whole bowl of eggplant, and I brought a bunch of purlane, which is like a green. It's a weed here, but it's food elsewhere, so I pick it when I go there. But yeah, I brought home so much food, and I'm excited. Today is going to be me processing that, putting it into different dishes and into different containers and moving it around into different spots of my house. And yarn dyeing. Today is also a yarn dyeing. Doesn't the lady upstairs have a good eggplant recipe? Not for this type of eggplant. It needs to be a small eggplant, like the Black Beauty eggplants, the little tiny egg-shaped ones. I didn't bring any of that kind home. I brought home the Rosa Bianca, Ping Tongue. I think that's the only two kinds I brought home. Ping Tongue and Rosa Bianca, and that's not the right type for the thing that she makes. She does a pickled preserved eggplant in olive oil, And it's like a stuffed eggplant with walnuts and like pomegranate seeds and just like all these tasty foods stuffed inside of eggplants, and then they're pickled and they're covered in olive oil. Very tasty. What's your go-to eggplant make? Well, this is my first year really trying to dive in, Caroline, to the eggplants. I just assumed I didn't like them because the only way I had eaten them before was stir-fried in slices, or as eggplant parmesan, or as ratatouille. I think those are the only ways I have had it. Eggplant lasagna too, my mom's done. And those are like fine, but they're kind of like fine for whatever, like fine, not my favorite, but tasty enough that I'll eat them kind of thing, but like not something I would invest time to make. But what I did last time, I actually followed a recipe that Scrappy's in the chat often. You're new, Caroline, so maybe that's not someone you know yet, but Scrappy's in the chat often and posted in our community Discord something called Armenian stuffed eggplant, and I did Armenian stuffed eggplant. It's basically just an eggplant cut into quarters, and then you cut slices into those quarters, and in those little slices you stuff peppers and tomatoes and stuff like that. So that is the plan I'm going to do, is the stuffed eggplants. I liked it that way. Basically you slice it, cut this in quarters, and then roast those quarters, take them out of the oven, cut them, and then stuff them with tomatoes and peppers and onions and garlic and stuff. But these are the Rosa Bianca eggplants. Really beautiful. Like, what? Look how cute that is. What a pretty eggplant. Eggplants are also super pokey and have thorns around the stems that can really hurt you. So be careful when handling eggplant. With the ping tongue, these ones, I'll probably just chop them into like 1 centimeter large cubes and then add them into a different thing. And then with my hot peppers, my serrano peppers, and my jalapenos, I have to decide between freezing them, making hot sauce with them, or dehydrating them for use in the future. And I might do a combination of all three. If I do dehydrate them, our whole house is going to be hard to breathe in today, because basically it's like macing yourself if you dehydrate hot peppers. It's like spraying bear spray right in your face. I've never made eggplant. Honestly, Rebecca, they are not very interesting. They're okay. They're a very boring, rubbery vegetable. They're like boring, like, trying to think of something as boring as eggplant. They're kind of like mushrooms, but mushrooms are tastier. But texturally, a raw eggplant and a raw mushroom are very similar. Eggplants, when you cut them, they turn brown real fast. Like, I'll cut one of them right now because I'm gonna cook these today anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'll just do this ping tongue. Okay, you can see they're white, right? Beautiful white center. You can see there are some seeds in there, but you can't really see them because this is a young eggplant. But you can see right now it's greenish white, right? Like almost white with like a little bit of green. I'll just leave them here for a minute and they will turn brown, like brown. And if you put salt on them, they leach out dark brown liquid. It's disgusting and it smells weird. But once you cook them up, they take on the flavor of whatever you put in them. They kind of smell like a cross between a fresh potato and a fresh cucumber. If you sliced a potato open and you sliced a cucumber open and you held them both up to your nose at the same time, that's kind of what the inside of a raw eggplant smells like. So there's your lesson of the day. Okay, I'm as north as Qatak and the Polar Bear Provincial Park in Canada. There you go. Okay, cool. It doesn't seem appealing to me. Honestly, I understand why. It doesn't seem appealing to me. It's fine. It's like if you know how you can do zucchini? If you prepare eggplant the exact same way you prepare zucchini, you'll be like, it's fine. It's not any, like, you know how if you eat a jalapeno, you're like, ooh, that tastes like a jalapeno. I wouldn't say anything tastes like eggplant. or eggplant tastes like anything. I'm sure there is some specific flavor that people like, but for me, eggplant doesn't awaken anything in me. It's more like a potato or cabbage or zucchini. It's like a filler vegetable. It's got a lot of fill. I've never thought an eggplant like that before. I love it. Which one? The Rosa Bianca or the long skinny ones? These are ping tung. Why are you taking so long to go brown? When I'm cutting them for food, they seem to go brown in just seconds. But you can see already it's starting to brown a little bit. It's not pure white anymore. But they brown pretty easily or pretty quickly. And if you're pickling them or preserving them, you have to like soak them in salt, rinse the salt off, soak them in salt again. It's like a whole process to preserve them. And they have a very rubbery texture when they're raw. But I wouldn't eat them raw. I don't know if you can, but I wouldn't. Anyway, though, the serrano peppers and the jalapenos are going to be the most exciting part for me. I want to do something fun with the jalapenos and the serranos. And I was funnily thinking, if you used hot peppers to make red color and the bonus is the heat that keeps you warm, I play too many crafting games for dyeing wool or cotton. I wonder, no, it wouldn't stain. I don't think it would stain permanently, Attic, because it's a red. Red is a scam. You can't get red from any red thing, you know? Like, you can't have, you can't get red dye from tomatoes. Even though when you spill tomatoes on your white shirt, it's stained forever, when you intentionally simmer fabric in tomatoes or hot peppers or whatever red thing you have, it never seems to stick. The dye doesn't hold. It's not color fast, wash fast, or light fast. It would oxidize faster from a knife than from breaking it like that. Oh, well, I don't have a knife with me. But also, that makes sense. Then just blanch it. Yes. Also an option. And let's see. I like the Black Beauty type for frying. The small one in tofu stir fry. Yeah, the Black Beauty type, yeah. But yeah, I'm more so just joking. Yeah, but at the same time, you'd think red would give you red. I don't know. Red wine, when you spill it on something, it seems to stain very well. And yet, you can't use wine to dye naturally. Rude. But the Black Beauty type Caroline, they were totally loaded on my mom and dad's plants. But I know that a lot of Middle Eastern folks really prefer the Black Beauty kind. So I don't take them now because they don't make a difference to me. They're the same flavor across the board, whatever eggplant. So I try to get the bigger, uglier ones. To be honest, there's hundreds of plants. It's totally not necessary for me to do that. But I still try to pick the ones that are less gorgeous or have little like marks on them. Like this one had some ugly marks on them. Obviously they're not actually ugly. See, they're a little browner now. So I try to pick the ugly ones, and the Black Beauty ones are just so perfect, and they're so heavily loaded on the plants right now. And my parents do pick your own vegetables on the weekend, so I don't take the Black Beauty ones for the most part now, because again, the Black Beauty ones and the white eggplants are very popular. They all taste the same to me. And I missed your comment on Katak. Ola and I had an argument about the lines on the globe and that Google Maps are wrong. As north as Katak. Or Quatok. Quacktok. Quacktok. It's probably not a qua sound, because that sounds like a nuktatuk. Because there's two Q's there's 3 Q's in the word. Gotta hold on to that word for Scrabble. Usually when there's a Q in a Inuktitut word, it's pronounced like a K. So, Koktok? Koktok? Man, I don't know. I try to know the indigenous words of things that are names. It always ends up sounding stupid when I say it. But anyway, I'm imagining that is an Inuktitut word for that location. Did you know there's such thing as a white cucumber? I did know there's such thing as a white cucumber. My mom isn't growing a white cucumber this year, but she grew white ones last year, and they weirded me out. Even though they tasted the same, they didn't taste the same because they were white and cucumbers are supposed to be green. That's the reason. That's about how far north I am, which is north. That is north. I'm a grumpy, grumpy person today. We just screamed, I'm not angry at you. I'm not angry at you either, at each other. I do that sometimes, except usually it's, are you mad at me? No! Me saying, are you mad at me? And Alex being like, no, are you mad at me? No. Are you sure you're not mad at me? Because I feel like you're mad at me. I'm not mad at you, Laura. Are you sure? Are you gonna get mad at me if I keep asking? No, Laura. Sometimes, poor Alex, he lives with a crazy person. Are you growing a white cucumber this year, V? And that place is almost northeast point of Quebec. Okay. And well, I'm the autistic person, so I say it a lot. Are you mad? I don't understand. Yeah, well, I'm not the autistic one, and yet I'm the one who's going, are you mad? Are you sure? Northmost north, got it. I wish I was. It would have totally tripped the kids out. Yeah, it really weirded me out last year. And the one my mom grew last year didn't have spines either. So, like, cucumbers have those pointy spines on them. So it felt like it looked like a melon. Like it was white and not prickly. So it felt weird that it was a cucumber. But I mean, cucumbers, melons, they're the same, right? Very much north. That's why it's so dark in the winter here. Yes, you hide from the sun. But in the summer, you get really, really, really long days, right? Candace, having troubles with your autocorrect there today? Gosh, I'm also the one who talks about their feelings, so I'm the one saying it. Fair. Talking about your feelings. I am glad we went to my parents yesterday. I got so much food. Hey, by the way, if anybody is watching the stream after the fact, if you're here and the stream is long over and you're just watching because you watch after the stream is over, and you're listening and you hear me ask, how do you make hot sauce? And you know the answer to that, leave a comment on the stream for me because I would like a recipe for hot sauce, or if you have a specific recipe that you like, tell me where to get it. The peppers I'm using are not hot peppers. I'm using jalapenos and serrano. Those are the two pepper types I'm working with. I didn't take any hotter peppers, so that's what I'm using. It's magical feelings. Frida, having feelings, so bizarre. Why do you have those? Where do you keep them? Are feelings in the same box as memories? Because memories often make you feel feelings, you know? It's probably in the same box. Oh, that was a good one. My neck and back were able to crack today and yesterday because I did yoga 2 days in a row. I need to start doing yoga all days in a row again because it's good for you. Speaking of what's good for you, let's all just take a drink of water now. Hydration break, I think. Good hydration break. My parents came to me. Dad and Ola played disc golf, and Mom and I reupholstered a chair seat and planted out the leftover coleus. Then fika! That's awesome, Frida. I brought in another coleus. Do you want to see the other one I brought in? I'm doing the tree thing because you convinced me to, but here is my second houseplant coleus. So the first one is back there on the table. It's rainbow multicolor. The second one that we've brought in. I'm bringing them in now so that they don't freak out in the autumn. Because if I bring them in autumn and it's cold outside and then dark inside, I want them to transition in. So each week I'm bringing in a different coleus plant and we're going to try and overwinter a bunch of coleus. And then in the spring, we will take cuttings in February of the coleus we have, we'll root them, and then in the spring, in May, we'll plant the cuttings from these babies outside. Hopefully. That's the plan. That's my hope for us, is that we will be able to overwinter these coleus, but we'll have to see. Have to see what happens. Also, in the next couple of weeks, I need to do a transplant of a bunch of my houseplants. They all need new dirt. And they all just need like a pick-me-up, and I think the best way for me to do a pick-me-up is to do a repot. Yes, oh cool! I only have coffee. Oh, I'm sorry, Frida. But yeah, aren't my coleus cool? I'm gonna be like a fancy coleus lady. I'm back from my appointment. How did it go, Mary Grace? Are you cured? I hope that you are cured. Of course they'll overwinter. They get paler in winter. Oh no. I hope that they don't hate me in the winter. And you say, of course they'll overwinter, but really, I don't know that it's an of course thing, Frida. There is one that's outside that's crazy. Oh, by the way, patrons, did you see what I posted for you on Patreon yesterday? It was a sneak peek of the garden. I posted a bunch of photos. I also took a bunch of photos of all the different 4 o'clocks that are blooming in our garden right now. And I'm going to be posting that one on Instagram today. One 4 o'clock plant. The plant is called 4 o'clock. That's what they've decided to name the plant, 4 o'clock. Anyway, the 4 o'clock plant blooms around 4 p.m. every day. Hence why it's called a 4 o'clock. And the one that I have has like 25 different colors on one plant. So I will show you those on Instagram later today. And I'm not sure I'm the fancy coleus lady. I'm just the coleus lady. Well, I'm going to be a fancy coleus lady because I'm going to have so many frickin' coleuses, coleuses. Here's another one that I have inside. So I have 3 inside right now. This one has been growing as a house plant. Yes, it looks like this. I don't need your judgment. This is just the way that it looks right now because I ripped off all the lower leaves and I cut the tops off to make little trees. So I have this white and green one, or yellow and green one, whatever you want to call it. It's almost white. But this one's cute. And then this one's super cute too. Do you want to see the leaves up close, by the way? I didn't really show it to you. Why are you dropping leaves? Okay, you're not. I just damaged you. It's fine. These ones, look at these leaves. Aren't they weird? They have little tiny bits of green on them. They're all weird and ruffly. Love that. You do know every leaf that you took off can root into another plant. Well, I actually did that yesterday, Candace, with all of my plants outside. I went around and cut off all of the branches of all of my plants, the lower branches, and I stuck all of them in other spots in the garden. So it should be fine. And let me just show you the coolest one. This one I am like fully obsessed with, like in a mildly unhealthy way, like it's a pet. Look at how pretty this one is. Like what? How? Why? What do I do? Frida, I think that this year you and I should do an exchange of coleus seeds because I'm gonna have some really weird crossed coleus this year. This is one. I have 3 of this plant. There's 2 more outside, but this one is just, it's just something else. It just doesn't really make sense to me that this is like a, I want you to be able to just see it while we hang out. Ooh, I have that one. Isn't it neat? The leaves curl a little bit, and they're very large leaves. It's just very neat. It's called a mosaic or Moses. It's either called mosaic makes sense, but I don't know if that's it. It might be Moses. It's coleus. Maybe it's King Mosaic. Moses Mosaic. I forget. It's got words. I'm not allowed to root more of them. Frida, that's fair. That's a reasonable thing to have as a rule. A reasonable one. Oh, by the way, let's check on our cuttings. I have a little Starbucks cup of water here. Oh, hello. The Mother of Thousands has rooted happily, so that needs to be planted soon. I need to change the water in here. How about this coleus? This coleus baby rooted. This is one of the bits that I cut off of that other one. So this one can be planted, which is super. Coleus is awesome because it's like mint. It just roots super easily. This tomato leaf did not root. I didn't think it would, but I was just like, let's see, maybe it'll root. It did not. It rotted. Also, this Peperomia obtusifolia, sorry, I had to remember what it's called, now has baby leaves. Look, come on. See. That's all I can show. It won't focus. Okay, I'm gonna go around taking pictures of all the ones I got from seeds. BRB. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, this is not enough water. I also have a snake plant that needs to be transplanted. It is like well past time to transplant this poor snake plant. Look at this. You're just gonna live in here with this peperomia now. And this coleus, because you guys are rooted. Also, you can live in there too, Madam Mother of Thousands. Happy this thing lived. I got this as a swap a couple of years ago. It was about this size when I got it too. Hi.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Look, another coleus rooted. Beautiful. Don't drip on my microphone or Alex will judge me. A rooted oxalis, Frida the 45th, Frida the 43rd. I have many of these oxalis plants now, Frida. I just can't stop myself. Another rooted coleus. Why don't we put you in here? Because this is just for that one. That's why we're only putting that in there. Okay, this is dirty water that needs to be cleaned, so I'll put it somewhere where I won't look at it and then I won't clean it. Love that for us. Okay, I need to add water to this jar. I'll be right back. I just need to top this water off. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I have to pee really bad. So I'm just gonna BRB, okay? Just watch thunder for me. Hello. A non-literal 1,000. Thank you, Frida. A non-literal 1,000 unedited coleus pics coming up in Discord. Amara, so many tasty plants, right? Lots of tasty plants here. All right, show me the coleus. Let's see what we got, Frida. We've got... Oh, I've got the same one. Coleus extravaganza. I like the one that's number 2. I have the one that's number 3. Ooh, number 4 is nice. Number 5, I don't have that one. That's cool. Number 6, I have that one. Number 7, I have that one. Number 8 is very cool. Dark red center with like veins of red towards the edge. That speckly one is cool. Do you hear me out of breath from climbing the stairs? That is that is my life. Ooh, I really like the one that's green on the light green on the outside, dark green on the inside. That's pretty. Oh my god, Frida, you have so many coleus plants, girl. Jeez Louise, you really planted and successfully grew many coleus. You are a coleus crazy you are a crazy coleus lady. Congratulations. Let me just have a little bit of coffee. Oh, also I ripped off all my fingernails and I dug up potatoes with my hands yesterday. So underneath my nail and on top of my nail bed, there is dirt in between and it hurts. And I soaked my hands and scrubbed them with like the hard end of a sponge. And they hurt now. Why did I rip off my nails? Anxiety. Why did I dig potatoes with my hands? For fun. They're the only ones you saved. That's still a lot of coleus. I'm excited to see them grow throughout the winter until you have a weird coleus jungle. Not that I'll be much different, honestly, Frida. I'm gonna have a lot of coleus. I actually started rooting 2 more a couple of days ago. I'll show them to you. Oh, coleus. Ouch! What the heck is that? Oh, coleus. Oh, coleus. My pretty little plants. So here are some of the other coleus that I am rooting before I have to put them in plant pots. So this is actually the same kind as that other one, but this, oops, sorry, this is different. Look at this one. Are you rooting yet? Just about to start throwing roots out of that stalk. Nope. What if I hold this up with it? Can I trick the camera? Yes, I can. This one's about to get roots coming out of it, but look at the leaves of this one. Isn't that pretty? It's got like the faintest green line around the edge, but other than that, it's just red. So this one's just about to root. These two, I was actually ripping off the lower limbs. Oh, this one did start rooting. See? Come on, camera. You could do it. Come on. It's like if it sees my face, it needs to focus on my face. Come on. Root. See? Some roots coming out of the bottom there. But on these ones, they were like the lower limbs that I was ripping off of the branches, and they had roots attached already. The lower limbs were underground. So I just ripped off the lower limbs and added them to water, and they'll just root more, and then I'll have more. Then I'll have more coleus. My sister, when I told her they root by cutting, my sister is also a gardener. Well, she's not a gardener. She has a lot of houseplants. She's a houseplant type gardener. Oh, you're not going to be able to see me. It's going to focus on that. Anyway, my sister does a lot of houseplant stuff too. But what she does as part of her decor is propagation stations. So she has little glass jars and little glass vials, and she has like shelving for beautiful purposes that have little glass containers full of water with a stem of something rooting in it. And when I showed her the coleus roots that way, she took a whole bunch of cuttings off of her coleus. She has a few from the from the store from this spring. She took them and put them into all of her cutting things. So she's got these cuttings that have so many roots it fills up the whole jar, and she's like just using it for decor, so she's not planting them. They're just for fun. So I said, because she has one variety that I don't have in my many coleus varieties right now. Ooh, bubble ASMR, sorry. Yeah, I just felt like I didn't want the honey to be at the bottom of the jar, so I bubbled it to mix up the honey back in. I need more tables by the window. I need more windows by the window. I have lots of tables, not enough windows for how many plants I have going on right now. But I think that I'm going to enjoy the coleus this winter. I hope that they don't all die. They're related to mint, which should make them quite hardy, but I guess we're gonna have to see. I have 4 established ones. Okay, well, I think that the tree variety, like this tree style, I don't think I'm gonna do that for all of them. I think that I'm gonna try and make a few of them that are kind of bushy, but we'll have to see. We'll see what happens as I start to bring them inside. So I'm bringing in cuttings inside and bringing in small plants inside, things that I want to try and overwinter. I'm thinking one of the jalapeno plants that didn't do very much, I was thinking of bringing that in for the winter and seeing if I can overwinter it as well. 74 tiny ones, Frida, that's so funny. God, that's so funny. Ooh, exciting. Mary Grace, it is exciting. I'm pretty happy about it. They're very pretty. I think I might spend a little bit of time in the garden this morning. These really did not turn brown the way that I thought they would. I was really planning on showing off to you like how brown they are. Check the stems. If they have a woody stem, they're good for trees. I mean, I just made them trees. I just figured they would become more woody over time. Don't you think? Just because they are existing like a tree? I don't know. They're not particularly woody. I'm sure it'll be fine. They're square, I'll tell you that about the leaves. Or the stems, they're square stems. Is this not a crazy amount of food? Ugh, it's so much work. It's good work, but I mean, it's so much work to process all of this. I also have to water my plants today, my house plants. I've been neglecting them again, and they need water. They're so thirsty. My plants. They are so thirsty. But that's okay, they'll be okay. I'm sure they'll be fine. No, some kinds are more green and floppy. Oh, well, we'll see. Random, I just got period underwear. Has anyone tried them? I don't have them yet, but that is something that I think is very cool. And period underwear, great idea. No more pads, because, geez, pads. Rebecca, no, but it seems great. It does seem great. It's a good idea. It's better than using, what? How many pads in a day do you go through? Let's say 2 or 3. Let me think. Overnight is 1. During the day is 1. And between that, there's a 3rd one most of the time. So I'm going to say 3 pads a day for 5 days, 15 pads a cycle. And a pack of pads is like $10 here, and you get like 30. So $15 a month to have your period. So as long as you pay, what's 15 times, let's say you get your period 10 months a year, because I don't always get my period every single month, forever, always. Then let's say you spend $150 a year on pads. So as long as you keep that underwear for a year, if it's less than $150, you're saving money. Cloth pads, people, also an option. Cloth pads, also an option. Purchased pads, a very expensive option. Oh, by the way, in my mail, I received a shadow box. I received my shadow box for my friend's wedding flowers. So it's time to get started on the wedding flowers. I think I might position all the greenery because it's all flat and dried and ready to go, and I'll leave the flowers till last because they still need some time flat in the books. but the greenery is all dry and flat. I'm looking at it. That's what you see me looking at over around. It's hung up everywhere. Oh, that's another thing I did yesterday. I bundled mint and thyme and catnip into bundles and hung it in the kitchen. I sew my own, never going back. So comfy. Yeah, sewing your own, good idea. Do you put buttons on them or Velcro? Or do they just sit in your underwear without moving around? I know you sew your own underwear, but for pads. Cloth pads is a good idea. I'm looking at my fabric to see if there's anything that would work. What does it have to be a cloth pad? What do you need? Do you need to have something, or is it something that exists already, or is there something special for it? I got 2 pairs at an overstock store. Oh, that's awesome, Rebecca. Can you tell me how much you paid? I would really like to know how much you paid, because they're expensive, like $30, $40 here for period underwear. If you got it at an overstock store, maybe you got it for a really good discount. Here it's called the Bins store, and it's like Amazon returns are there. And sometimes you can find real good, crazy deals. My mom found a candle making kit for $3, and she gave that to me. That was fun. $9 each. That's awesome. $18? That's like 1 period cycle worth of pads. I use metal jersey snaps. They're flatter. I have those. I have metal jersey snaps. I don't know if they're called jersey snaps, but I know what you mean, the little ones. I have plastic snaps. Okay, plastic snaps, metal snaps, and they just snap right on. Huh. Frida, maybe I'll ask you for that pattern for the pads, because that seems like a pretty quick and easy sewing pattern. And also, my sister's about to have a baby. I just picked off at my skin. Don't pick your skin, everybody. My sister's about to have a baby, and after you have a baby, there's this thing that happens where your body just continues to bleed after for a while. You get PUL fabric, very thin, waterproof, and something absorbent. I use cotton bamboo flannel. I'm looking underneath the tree to see the text. And fun cotton for the backside. Absolutely. Plus, if it's a homemade pad, she can like soak it in witch hazel and freeze it. Isn't that something that new moms are supposed to do? They're supposed to soak a pad in witch hazel and put it in the freezer, and then you wear it, and it helps your pain after you evacuate a full human being from your body. Can you imagine forever people evacuate human beings from their body? Crazy. I might try to go online to get an overnight pair. I have 1 heavy flow and then 1 low flow. Okay, cool. I searched for free patterns and then modified it to my liking. Okay, cool too. Also cool. What's PUL? That sounds like something I would like right now. Oh, I wonder if that would help. I mean, it helps with swelling and pain? What does witch hazel do? What does witch hazel do? What does witch hazel do? And what's it made of? How does witch hazel benefit the skin? Well, let me see. Witch hazel is made from the bark and leaves of the witch hazel shrub. Witch hazel is well known for its household cleaning benefits, deterring pests, and of course, its benefits to the skin. Witch hazel is one of those old school ingredients that has regained popularity. Normally, witch hazel extract is created by putting the bark and leaves of the plant through a steam distillation process. The ingredient can sometimes be found as an extract in facial cleansers. Witch hazel contains salicylic acid, which helps to exfoliate skin, removing skin cells. Hi, peekaboo. This helps to improve the appearance of fine lines. As witch hazel is a plant-based ingredient, it's more complex than a single one. Cool. Doesn't... Tannins, flavonoids... it's astringent, that's why. It constricts the blood vessels or the pores under the surface of the skin. Cool. I mean, I don't have one of each. I have lots of each. Fair. Helps itching and swelling. There you go. Like the plastic snaps because of the fun colors. Am I surprised? No. How many of them are yellow or bright purple? Stop itching, Laura. Oh my god. You're just gonna make it so much worse. Sorry, everybody. I can't help myself. I have poison ivy everywhere. Pika. Hi, Mama. Hi, Pika. I'm waiting for her to come here so I can pick her up to show her to you. Hi. Hello. What doing? Hi, Pika. Hi. I've been doing this thing, because usually when I pet her and I am lying with her in bed, I'm quiet and I'm just petting her and she's purring. But starting last night, I'm going to, and I did this, say, hi Pika, come here. Hi Pika, good girl, while I'm petting her, so that eventually she will, when she hears me do that, she'll come for pets. Because right now, she doesn't really come when she's called. She looks at you like she's not going to hang out with you. Where did you go? Are you in here? I guess she left me. But anyway, she doesn't come when called, but she really loves to hang out when she's, sorry, my eyes are now have guck in them. She likes to hang out when she decides to, but she loves getting pet and scratched and loved on. So I want to trick her into doing that, basically. I hear you over there. You know you have your own water downstairs. Anyway, all of them with some teal, green, and orange. No black, brown, gray, or white. Reasonable. Hey guys, I'm gonna check out now actually. It's 10 to 12 and I have many yarns to rinse today. I have 2 skeins that need to come out of the dye bath right now. So I'm going to do that, and for that I need the camera, so I have to log out. But thank you for coming. I appreciate you being here today. Don't forget to like the video on the way out if you don't mind. And thank you so much to my patrons who support me on Patreon. I really appreciate you guys. If you would like to support me on Patreon, the link is in the description down below. Okay, that's all for today. I'll see you next time. Okay, love you, bye. See you Friday. See you on Friday. Have a good rest of your day. See you Friday. Bye. Have a good day. Bye. Bye, everyone. Have a good day. Don't forget your stuff. See you later. If you forget any of your stuff, I'll have it for you on Friday, so don't worry. Bye.